Hey everybody, you are tuning in to the Canary Cry News Talk live stream pre-stream. Congratulations for being here, and we're going to get the show started in just about a minute, a little bit more than a minute here. So as usual, I want to give a big congratulations to the first comment of the day, which came from Facebook, from Nadir over on Facebook. I think that's how you pronounce it. Thank you very much, Nadir, or Nader. Maybe it's Ralph Nader. Thank you very much. Now, here's the thing, folks. Remember, you can head on over to CanaryCry.Party. CanaryCry.Party, indeed, a real URL, where you can find all the links to all the different broadcast locations, as well as the archive locations of the show. You can also sign up for the newsletter, get all of our sources delivered to your email box once a week. Very valuable resource there for people who are having these sorts of conversations over the holiday. What else is there? You can become a producer of the show, which is very important. It's the only way the show keeps going. Thank you to those producers who sent special Christmas gifts there. We appreciate that. And all sorts of other fun stuff. You can find a link to Gonz's suspended Twitter channel, Twitter account, if that's what you're into. Anywho, all right, let's get the show started. But remember, stay hydrated, buckle your seatbelts. Let's get going.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy.
You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk, and we are live to tape here on December 22nd, 2021. This is episode 426, and today, medicine media. Woo! And of course, Razzle Dazzle. I'm your best buddy, Basil.
And this is Gonz, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ. Welcome to the podcast where we bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. Welcome again to all of you watching live or listening later on while running through a mall trying to do some last-minute shopping for family and friends.
I have a tip. Mm-hmm. I have a tip for last-minute Christmas gifts. I've pulled this off a couple of times, and it's always been a beloved and appreciated last-minute Christmas gift.
Giving away secrets.
I'm giving away a secret. This is a very valuable tip for anybody out there who has somebody that they still need a gift for. Okay. Now, it doesn't work for everybody, but if you have friends or family or whatever who do not yet own Bitcoin, it is the coolest. These people love it, man. They love it. All you got to do is just, make them a little wallet on the blockchain. You don't have to make them a Coinbase account or anything.
No, do paper wallet.
Yeah, just do a little paper wallet. Plus it's cheap. All you got to do is,
if you really want to be
$10 in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It is novel. It is exciting. They hear about it all the time, but they have no idea how to get it. And you give them $10 in Bitcoin, you will be the winner of the last-minute Christmas gift competition.
I will say that this is something I did for my family in 2018, I believe.
Yes.
And the $25 or so that I gave to family is worth about $250 now, or $250 or $300, something like that. So yeah, it's one of those things where you tell them,
Same
okay,
deal.
I actually gave my family a little bit inside of like a safe. I put the paper wallet, and if you want to get really crazy, you can print these or create these paper wallets from a computer that's never touched the internet. So if you want to be really crazy, the private keys would have never touched anything online. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of.
If you don't know how to do a paper wallet, just Google it. It's super easy.
Yeah.
There you go. Same here. I did my first Bitcoin Christmas gifts in 2017. And yeah, that's up to like $750 now. Like every Christmas, I get an update from these people about how much I think I got them like $50 worth or something in 2017, and it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yet, if you tell them as in family, hey, Ethereum's under $200, you should buy a bunch. They don't listen, and then now that it's over 4,000, they're like, "Oh, should have listened to you." That's it's life.
You'll be the cool, creative, future forward relative or friend who just smashes that, and it takes like 10 minutes to do.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. There's your tip.
Before we, good tip. It is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Oof.
Yes. And real quick, I do want to say, we always forget to say this, but it does help when we do.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching live or even afterwards on YouTube, go ahead and hit like and subscribe and turn on notifications.
Like, subscribe, bell button, all. Like, subscribe, bell button, all.
Boom.
Yeah, and before we jump in, or I guess a little introduction, Basil, you are moving about, and
yes,
for those
I'm up
watching,
in the North Pole.
You're on the North Pole.
Okay. I'm helping out with some last minute Christmas stuff.
You're doing pagan rituals with the Klaus. Is that what's going on?
It's so cold up here.
Yeah, because of the satanic chill. You know,
global warming has not turned up the heat yet up here.
Oh, great, wonderful. I do want to call upon all of the Prayducers.
Prayducers, assemble!
This is reported by the Telegraph. Carnage. 375 dead and 630,000 displaced after Typhoon Rai rips through Philippines. Deadly typhoons is the strongest the archipelago has faced this year, with peak winds reaching 146 miles per hour. But that's a lot of lost life, you know. And
yes, of course. Yeah, prayers to the Filipinos.
Yeah, and there's always natural disasters and things of that nature, but you know, I don't know. I just can't help but think that there's more to it than just some disruptive nature taking people out, especially right now when climate is...
of course, you're talking about the climate crisis.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And the Philippines, you know, being historically, there's a lot of violent history with the Philippines. And I'll just mention that, you know, I had Filipino friends growing up and stuff, so got close to their culture and things like that. And they've, especially with the Americans, they've had a rough go. Around 1899, the Americans and the Filipinos got into a little scruffle that cost thousands of lives. And the worst part about that war that happened, or battle that happened in 1899, February 4th, Philippine-American War, 200,000 Filipino civilians were indirectly killed as a result, and it was partly from that and a cholera epidemic. So similar kind of thing going on today. Yeah, cholera.
That's not good.
So anyway, just thought I'd start things off with a prayer, because there's people. And here's the thing to remember: the most famous Filipino. Who's the most famous Filipino? Basil. Come on, he punches real hard. And he's good at fighting.
Man.
No,
Jose Punchman. Oh, Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
And Manny Pacquiao is, as far as we can tell, he's a Christian. He's pretty open about that, and he's running for politics in the Philippines. So.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
And I don't know how. And that's the last I heard. I don't know if there are any updates about that, but just some. I don't know, just some factoids about the Philippines and
Filipino factoids,
and pray for the people there, because it's no good when anytime over 500,000 people get displaced and hundreds die.
No, that's really horrible. Yeah. And okay. Well, speaking of displacing human beings, let's check in on Flippy.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
Okay, folks, it's time for the Flippy update. If you're new to the show, Flippy is the colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways that robots are taking over the world. And now there's nothing we can do about it. Today, the Flippy update is coming from Hackaday.com. And the headline is Shake with Your New Robot Hand. Korean researchers have created a very realistic and capable robot hand that looks very promising. It is strong, 3-4N of grip strength. I don't know what 3-4N means, 34 newtons perhaps, and reasonably lightweight, 1.1 kilograms. There are several videos of the hand in action, of which you can see 2 of them below, including one where the hand uses scissors to cut some paper. You can also read the full paper for details. Like many good projects, this one started with requirements. The team surveyed existing hands, noting the positives and negatives of each design. They then listed the attributes they wanted in a new design. The 22-centimeter hand has 4 fingers and a thumb, Gonz.
Not 4 thumbs and 1 index finger?
Not 4 thumbs and some sticky gecko tips. We're going full 4 fingers and a thumb and sensors on each fingertip. Overall, there are 20 joints, resulting in 15 degrees of freedom. So the hand is very dexterous. The construction looks taxing with eccentric motors, ball screws, and linkages. However, the hand itself contained and ready to mount on any robot arm. The modular Terminator hand, Gonz. It's they made a comment about how sort of intense the hand looks, and Gonz, as a Terminator hand construction connoisseur like yourself,
Yes.
from childhood trying to create models of the Terminator hand, I thought you might like this because it is straight up a Terminator hand. They have taken no attempts to make it look friendly or not even friendly, just non-homicidal. It looks entirely like the hand that we inevitably will have around our throats as the robots take over. The article continues, we were especially interested in one video where the hand used tweezers to place small parts. This could be the figure of pick and place. Okay, don't know what that means, but if you want to dabble in linkage design, we have just the CAD package, blah, blah, blah. Yes, so apparently you can, work on building this thing yourself. But what do you think, Gonz? Does this Terminator hand trigger you? Does it inspire you? Are you ready to get back in the workshop?
Well, no, because this guy already did it, so, there's not much to add. I did pull up a little image of the Terminator hand from the movie. So for anybody watching, you can see the Terminator hand there with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you see this robot hand, and yeah, very similar, if not
very similar. Very similar.
One of the things they do in this one video where it shows the hand just moving, they speed it up, so the hand is dead, and there was one point where I started thinking, oh my gosh, if we had the hand Olympics, this robot would just dominate. I wouldn't be able, my hand would get tired, be like, ugh. Got to rest, but this robot hand just keeps going.
I thought it was funny that the amount of strength this hand has is 34 ends.
Yes.
Not 33. So maybe it's signaling that this will be the hand to take down the New World Order.
It's the evolution. No, it's beyond 33.
It's one better.
It is the evolution of man into the machine. So yeah, great, wonderful. This is
there you go.
Not dystopian at all.
Easy peasy flippy there for everybody. Yeah. And as usual, folks, you'll notice we'll kind of be zooming through the show a little bit today because we have a time difference. And you know what happens when there's a time difference? There's a sleepy difference. So
okay.
That's how it'll be going. All right, what do you got next?
Let me briefly just mention the artwork for the show, which is a snowy city to represent the people, and or people in cities anyway. A little DNA strand and a sickle. And yes, and I wanted to highlight the fact that I was trying to come up with titles, and I try to have fun with it and stuff like that. So if you look at the title of this episode, it's Medicine Media, MEDI, and then sin, like, medicine, play on the word. And wanted to find out exactly what Medi, MEDI, meant. So I did. I looked at the etymology in Welsh. It means to mow or reap, and it literally means a reaping, to harvest.
Ooh.
And it's been a theme in recent episodes here. We've had Chronos, Saturn, also having the meaning of the sickle and the Sith.
Yes.
And also...
And, of course, Fauci.
Fauci, right. Fauci being a sickle. And now we have Medi, the etymology in Welsh anyway, meaning reaping. So... I don't know. It's just a little coincidence, and I thought I'd play with that. And, of course, the media is, taking a side on the issue, but not before the former President Trump started to stir things up a little bit. So hold on. Let's get into it here.
It's Corona. COVID-19, 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 yes. COVID-19. COVID-19. Coronavirus.
Vaccine. Number one way.
We will launch a new age.
This was Trump with
Trump.
Bill O'Reilly.
Yes, they're on their, what do they call it? Patriot Tour or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Or Bill O'Reilly's been doing live shows. It's like a podcaster, Once things get weird, you move into live shows.
Right, right. Harder to take down.
Mm-hmm.
So here he is talking about the vaccine.
But look, we did something that was historic. We saved tens of millions of lives worldwide. We, together, all of us, not me, we got a vaccine done, 3 vaccines done, and tremendous therapeutics like Regeneron and other things that have saved a lot of lives. We got a vaccine done in less than 9 months that was supposed to take from 5 to 12 years. Because of that vaccine, millions and millions of people. I think this would have been the Spanish flu of 1917, where up to 100 million people died. This was going to ravage the country far beyond what it is right now. Take credit for it. Take credit for it. It's a great, what we've done is historic. Don't let them take it away. Don't take it away from ourselves. You're playing right into their hands when you sort of like, oh, the vaccine. If you don't want to take it, you shouldn't be forced to take it. No mandates, but take credit because we saved tens of millions of lives. Take credit. Don't let them take that away from you.
Okay, so the president made news.
Do you agree with that? Right?
Both the president and I are vaxxed, and did you get the booster?
Yes.
I got it too. Okay, so...
Don't. That's all. There's a very tiny group of it.
Yeah, very
Diminishing
interesting.
the tiny group over there who is against the booster.
Yeah, this is fun because, of course, we've been pointing out since the beginning that the vaccine is Trump's vaccine.
Yeah.
He, is very proud of it. He was Operation Warp Speed. He's the reason that it took 9 months and not 12 years. And if you remember, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Democrats across the world, across the country, I guess maybe the world, were anti-vax. They were anti the Trump vax. There's clips and clips of it. I don't know if you have any laying around.
No.
All the Democrats saying they wouldn't take the vaccine because Trump made it.
Right.
And yeah, and even today in the mainstream media, they equate Trump with anti-vax and Trump followers with anti-vax, which is, of course, we know is just complete rhetoric, divide and conquer, agenda. But this was very interesting. Sitting on stage with Bill O'Reilly and Donald J. Trump, praising the efforts of the vaccine, and of course, the very interesting detail, I guess, where he was saying, that plays right into their hands. If we don't take credit for the vaccine, that plays into their hands, which in a way he's not wrong, because it is the MO of Democrats and just sort of the general corporate media to not give Trump the credit, which, of course, gives Biden the credit, and place conservatives on this sort of, I don't know if it's not that, of course there are conservatives who are vaccine hesitant or have their critiques of the vaccine, but it does kind of play into the media's hands, what he's saying. But is that who he's talking about? Whose hands, Gonz? Whose hands is he referring to?
Probably from Trump people. It's probably the deep states or the mainstream media, the fake news media, and it's nothing more than that. But also. Yeah.
Sorry, you go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that a lot of what he said there was based on the model, the computer model that said that it's going to be millions and millions of deaths, and what was the amount? 2 million deaths in the United States alone if nothing gets done or something like that was your initial report, and he's basing all of his actions on that thing. So it's like, okay, so you sort of bought into the whole threat from the get-go. So yeah, I mean, I think most people watching and listening to this show
he's a lizard
realize
person too,
Yeah. Well, yeah, go ahead.
But this also fits into what we've been seeing as a pattern for Trump recently, which is he's really been changing his tone. He's really changed his, a lot of the things that people loved about him at the time, or was very helpful for his first run, was the fact that he was kind of boisterous and he bragged and he took credit and he talked about how awesome he was all the time, and that was very effective, at least the first time around. But recently, a lot of his appearances and clips and things have included stuff like, we all take credit. You did it. We did it. Not just me. It was all of us. We did it together.
Yeah, this unification language.
Yeah. So he's definitely, been coached on, hey, if you want to run in 24, we're gonna have to work on your presentation.
Delivery. Yeah. That makes sense. And the other thing to note is, similar to what we've seen with kind of the cognitive decline of Biden, I think we have to prepare for this kind of cognitive decline in Trump too, at least like in the public. People don't think about that, but it's got to happen at some point.
You think he has a cognitive decline?
No, not right now. I'm saying like in the near future, like in the coming years as he's around, I don't think people have thought about like Trump is almost invincible in some people's minds, but that will happen. He's old. He's an old dude. But this talk about divide and conquer. This really triggered Alex Jones. I mean, Alex Jones was not happy about this. This is a Indy100.com article. The headline is Alex Jones says Trump has joined the New World Order's team because he got the booster jab. And I have a couple. No, I think I just made it one clip. We could stop it at any point. It starts off with it just cuts into Alex Jones. He's pretty crude, so I tried to cut back on some of the more descriptive language he uses about things. You'll hear it. Kind of edited, of course, to clean it up a little. But yes, he's commenting on the same clip that we just listened to from Trump.
What we've done is historic.
Once again, sign on to it. Take credit for it. Just sign on, believe it. I mean, hell, we're fighting Bill Gates and Fauci and Biden and the New World Order and Psaki and the Davos group and Peter Daszak. And now we got Trump on their team. No Trump. You are playing into their hands and destroying yourself and signing yourself onto the New World Order. See, I just can't get mad on air anymore. There's a Greg Reese report. They just filed. It's so important. And so let's just air that. And I may just go to rebroadcast. I'm not trying to be dramatic here. I may just never come back. I mean, seriously, just let everybody have what you want. Let Schiff and Pelosi rob you. Let them molest your children.
Whoa.
Let them take your 4-year-olds away and hustle. You love it. Everybody's too busy with their own life and their own thing and their own this and their own saying to wake up out of the coma that there is a satanic, off-world alien attack going on this planet. I mean, you look at it, you analyze it, this ain't human.
Wow.
And you people need to wake up and rally against it, or maybe we are a bad species. Maybe this thing wiping us out's good. I just know this, there is an advanced intelligence running in the thing, and it's sophisticated. And there's all these delusional people going along with it. They think it's funny, I think it's cute, and it's not cute. I don't care if you're Donald Trump. I don't care if you're Bill Gates. I don't care who you are. You come at children with experimental Nuremberg Code, violating vaccines that you broke the law to ram through. You are terrorist in league with Joseph Mengele 2.0. Here's Greg Reese's report.
Wow.
Going hard, going in hard.
Yeah, he's it's like nihilist Alex Jones.
Yeah,
there.
He's done.
Given up.
He's
if you don't do it, if you don't rise up and destroy the alien off-world overlords, and I don't even know what I'm doing here. I could see how that could be frustrating if you're Alex Jones and you're doing everything you can, and the people just aren't picking up their guns and flying to space to kill the aliens.
And now Trump...
What does he expect people to do?
The one guy, he's been really behind, the statues on Mars, the whole deal. Now he's turned his back on Alex Jones too, it's like this real poetic tragic moment in the drama.
Maybe this, I think this connects somewhere. So... one of the things I suspect is responsible for, or could be responsible for, Trump's change in tone and stuff like that is perhaps, I think it came out within the Ghislaine Maxwell trial that Trump had been on the Lolita Express a few more times than people had previously thought, or at least that had been claimed under oath or something. I didn't take a look at the actual the evidence presented because that's very difficult to do now. But, who knows? Maybe there's a little bit of incentive there for Trump to start towing the line a little more.
That makes sense because of there's a clip when Trump was first asked about Ghislaine Maxwell and the whole trial and everything. His response was kind of like, "Oh, I hope she does well," or something. I can't remember the exact words.
Yeah.
But it was very passive. Yeah. It was like, "Whoa, I thought you'd be way more like, take down the human traffickers kind of deal."
It's so funny because at the time, when he said that, I forget the exact words too, but it was something to like, I wish her the
well,
best.
Right? Wish her the best. Yeah, something like that.
And the sort of Q crowd, not just the Q crowd, but the pro-Trump crowd, kind of took that as a snide, sarcastic remark because they had framed Trump as this anti, just the Q thing. He's fighting the secret war against the global pedophilic elite. And so when he said that, people were like, see, it's a threat. He's saying it very threateningly. But now... kind of seems like maybe he really does wish her well.
Yeah.
Because he knows that there's a tape somewhere or a DVD with pictures she has access to.
Depending on where the case goes, there could be something that surfaces. And if that blackmail information got back to Trump, then, he's going to toe the line a little bit now that he's, maybe he tried to cover his tracks or something like that. But who knows? Either way, Trump is Trump. Like we've kind of known this about him and his ties to different groups and whatever. Like that's been a thing, so it's not surprising here. But the Alex Jones rant, he's not like 100% wrong. It's just maybe the verbiage he uses to describe what's happening is a little, colorful, and that's part of his whole shtick. But but you got to give him a little bit in that, like he's not completely wrong about the situation, like the transcendent, the supernatural aspect of what's happening. So I'll give him that, but also way to go viral again.
Staying relevant.
He's kind of, he's doing some interviews and stuff and was getting around, but then you kind of don't hear from him unless you're like a diehard InfoWars guy. When you're, tuning in every day, then you don't really hear from Alex Jones anymore. And so all of a sudden he's just all over social media again, and it's it's good little clip there when he goes off. After he says he's too old to get angry. He just goes nuts, loses it. It's part of his deal.
Those, most people picked up on this, but he was not speaking backwards naturally. That was Gonz.
No, that was
censoring
some very
parts.
graphic things that he said about happenings to children and things of that nature. So I wanted to keep it.
Got to keep the show
keep it clean,
family friendly here,
as best as possible. Not always happening, but there you go.
That's very interesting about Trump. It'll be interesting to see how that continues. And there was some responses. I was listening to some other sort of news analysis shows, just keeping up on what's going on, what other people are talking about. And there were some left-leaning analysis that they were very excited that, well, there's a couple comments about the Trump thing. They were talking about how, wow, this is Trump's thing now? This is how he is? Wow, it's too bad that he got kicked off of Twitter because, if Trump had been on Twitter over the past year putting out pro-vaccination messaging, then perhaps more people
would have been vaccinated. Oh, it's 5D chess. This is Trump playing his cards again.
So maybe it could be a play to try to get reinstated on social media and Twitter or something. Because that, as much as he is the strong man who can survive getting kicked off Twitter, it still is a blow.
Sure.
And so, they were kind of lamenting the fact that he had been kicked off Twitter and wasn't able to put out pro-vaccine messaging. And perhaps that might be the play here. Yeah, he's trying to rebrand himself, take credit for the vaccine, and show that he could be a good boy on Twitter. And maybe not just Twitter, but just like social media in general, get put back into the mainstream zeitgeist.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so there's some changing of the guard there, so maybe some different people he has to appeal to. But just because you brought up Twitter, Jack Dorsey came out, he stepped down, but he came out, he's a little bit more free on his thoughts about everything. And he was basically saying that Bitcoin is going to replace the US dollar as the world reserve currency or reserve asset. And, he stirred everything up. But I only bring that up because Trump has come out and really said that he's against Bitcoin and he's against cryptocurrencies. So he's a US dollar guy. So, you got to kind of keep, again, we've known this about Trump.
Most billionaires are.
Right.
That's the thing about the billionaires is they have a lot of dollars and they want to keep their dollars.
Right. Well, Jack Dorsey's, playing for the other team, I guess. But it's just interesting to see all of these different topics or categories of things that build the whole New World Order infrastructure, how there are different sides and different tensions, and they probably manufacture those tensions to create results. You can't just mope on along. It'll take too long. So you need conflict to rise between two factions, and then more gets done. So I don't know. It just seems like it's all orchestrated in the end. Speaking of orchestrated.
Got hairy legs. Got hairy legs.
We have abcnews.go.com. Biden lays out new efforts against Omicron in address to nation. That is Omicron, right? Yeah. Okay. I have a clip here that we don't have to read the article, but we'll play the clip. It's a little bit long. Basil, stop me.
The variant.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. Stop me at any point if you have any comment. You ready?
Okay. Yep.
The variant doubling every 2 to 3 days, now at least 73% of all new cases. The president acknowledging today Americans are tired and frustrated and worried, but saying this is not March of 2020, arguing we have vaccines and boosters. But he did warn if you're not fully vaccinated, you have good reason, in his words, for concern, and that you should get vaccinated immediately, calling it what could be a life or death decision. And the president, in a rare moment, pointing out the former president, President Trump, that he acknowledged he has gotten his booster. President Biden saying he's had his booster, too. The president speaking to the nation from the state dining room at the White House, saying Americans who are vaccinated and boosted can go ahead with their holiday plans. But he did say to expect breakthrough cases, and perhaps many of them. But the experts say they don't expect them to be severe. Once again, stressing vaccinations, but acknowledging Americans are looking for tests as well. The president announcing plans for new federal testing and vaccination sites starting here in New York City, where lines right now run for blocks. In Cleveland tonight, a long line of cars at a drive-through test site. This is the Cleveland Clinic here. And in the West tonight, a drive-through testing site in Pomona, California. Many Americans waiting for hours. The president...
I'm going to pause it right there just because in the video, it shows a test kit, or what I think is a test kit in some kind of grocery store type thing. And it's Binax Now.
Yeah, it's the Binax Now.
Or Binax, okay.
It's the Abbott Labs at-home testing.
Okay. Is that the only product? You had asked about, like, which product are they going to push out or mail out to, 500 million or whatever?
Yeah, well, 500 million orders is quite a lot. Quite the bill. And, what caught my mind, at least, was we had the most recent big moves by Bill Gates was teaming up with Soros to create testing kits.
Right.
And I thought, wow, what a great turnaround and investment for Bill Gates if he, buys a testing kit company and then immediately gets a 500 million unit order from the government.
Yeah.
But Binax Now is Abbott Labs. And they were kind of the first and most popular and the most affordable at-home testing kit. I do not know how. I mean, actually, I did. I looked into these kits quite a bit, and the general sense is that if you get a positive on these, it's definitely a positive. If you get a negative, there's about a 20% chance you get a false negative. So they're about 80 to 84% accurate.
Okay.
Just some details there.
Right.
So those are the ones getting sent out. And now this doesn't even start till January. So,
right.
It's not very helpful for the Christmas season.
Well, that was part of some of there was an interview that I think I decided not to clip it, but I didn't do it. It was with Rochelle Walensky on ABC here. And she was being asked, like, well, yeah, okay, January, great. But what about people now? What about people 3 days away from Christmas? How do they get tested? And, she gave, like, the little milquetoast answer. But we can continue on here with the clip. Here we go.
That begins in January. The president also sending 1,000 military medical personnel to help hospitals already at a breaking point because of the fall surge. And now, of course, Omicron. There is also news coming in from Israel tonight announcing a fourth COVID shot there. They had boosters like us and now have moved on to a fourth shot to keep protective antibodies up for people over 60 and for medical workers 4 months after getting their third shot. And of course, we always ask here, is that what's coming here next? We begin tonight with our chief White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega, leading us off from the White House.
At the White House today, surrounded by Christmas decorations, President Biden trying to reassure Americans that even in the face of the surging Omicron variant, we are not in the darkest of days.
Before we go through the rest of this here, the one thing I wanted to note about the test kits, I'm wondering if they're going to have like a batch of companies to help with it instead of like one company making all of it, is my guess.
I don't know.
It makes more sense if you're going to do 500 million in a month.
There's a lot of these Binax tests floating around.
Are they already?
They've been really producing these things hard.
Okay,
yeah. So much so that some stores have had to get rid of stock because nobody's buying them.
Oh. All right then. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. More from. And by the way, I think Biden in this press conference, he didn't have like crazy flubs or anything like that, but he gave just enough to create the news report, which is what you're seeing and hearing here.
This is not March of 2020. 200 million people are fully vaccinated. We're prepared. We know more. We just have to stay focused.
He acknowledged Americans are tired, worried, and frustrated, and told them to prepare for what's yet to come.
Because Omicron spreads so easily, we'll see some fully vaccinated people get COVID, potentially in large numbers. But these cases are highly unlikely to lead to serious illness.
And the president with this warning for the unvaccinated.
And your choice can be the difference between life or death.
With Omicron now in all but one...
That's a line that... Who was it? Somebody in Europe used that line a few months ago. It was like a life. We will decide the life or death of people.
Oh, that was
I can't remember what it was.
Time ago.
Was it a long time ago?
Yeah, that was a European guy. I think it was like a French guy.
Right. Yeah, so we're just a year behind the French.
And your choice can be the difference between life or death.
With Omicron now in all but one state, the president unveiling a plan to distribute 500 million free at-home rapid tests in January to any American who requests one.
We'll be getting these tests to Americans for free. And we'll have websites where you can get them delivered to your home.
But the White House offering few specifics on how that would work. And tests in January won't help those people who lined up today around the country hoping to get tested before Christmas.
Public health officials have been saying for months you need to surge rapid tests for just this moment. Is it a failure that you don't have an adequate amount of tests for everyone to be able to get one if they need one right now?
No, it's not, because COVID is spreading so rapidly. If you notice, it just happened almost overnight, just in the last month.
I like that non-answer there. It's like, hey, I've been saying for a long time we need to prepare for this moment. So was it a failure? No, because things happen so fast. It's like, well, no, we just told you, we were telling you. Anyway, there you go. There's Biden.
Well, this is funny, of course, because, I can't remember if we played it on the show or not, but this whole timeline of sending Americans test things is just hilarious to me, because I tweeted yesterday or today, I forget when I did it. Time is an illusion. The first time that we saw this idea recently of sending Americans tests, directly to their homes, making testing available and free. And, I went on a rant about this in 2020, or maybe it was early 21, about, testing, making testing available, et cetera, et cetera. If it was really about, health, making sure sick people don't get other people sick, you just give everybody tests, and if you're sick, you don't go out or whatever. And it just makes the most sense. But a reporter asked Jen Psaki about this from the podium, the press secretary's podium, maybe 5 days ago, maybe 6 days ago now. And just for fun, we can play that clip.
Okay. Sorry, I was not prepared for it. I saw you put it in there, and I actually didn't do anything to find it. Oh, yeah. So it'll take me a second to find
No worries.
the
It's
clip.
just head to my Twitter account. It's the next tweet after today's episode tweet. But
Twitter. What is Twitter?
Are you even allowed on Twitter anymore? Can you even get on there?
I'm using the Canary Cry thing, but I'm not going to post anything because I don't want to.
Don't post anything because they're gonna take you down, bro.
Shut me down. Hold on. Let's see.
I did retweet it from Canary Cry too.
They're playing ads on your thing.
My video.
Well, no, not your video, but like on your timeline.
What?
So Twitter's making money off of you. Yeah, it's normal.
Why don't I get any of that? What the heck?
Because you're you.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's see. Jen Psaki. Here's the clip.
Look at what we've done over the course of time. We've quadrupled the size of our testing plan. We've cut the cost significantly over the past few months. And this effort to push to ensure insurers you're able to get your tests refunded means 150 million Americans will be able to get free tests.
Complicated though. Why not just make them free and give them out and have them available everywhere?
Should we just send one to every American?
Yes.
Maybe.
Then what happens if every American has one test? How much does that cost, and then what happens after that?
All I know is that other countries seem to be making them available in greater quantities for less money.
Well, I think we share the same objective, which is to make them less expensive and more accessible, right? Every country is going to do that differently, and I was just noting that, again, our tests go through the FDA approval process. That's not. Look at what we've done over the course of time.
Circle back.
circle back. But I'll have to circle back.
Sorry.
And
I
that's
had to get a little bit on
exactly
there.
what she did, as in classic petulant Jen Psaki fashion. She's asked if why don't you just send people free tests? Well, what are we even supposed to do? What, we're just going to send people free tests? How is that even possible? What a stupid question. And then, of course, it was like 4 days later they announced.
4 days later.
We're going to send them out. We're so wonderful. We had this great idea where we would provide free tests. So she very literally circled back on the idea of sending free tests to everybody, which I just thought was hilarious and is, classic indicator of the not only Jen Psaki's whole style of, getting mad at the American people and then realizing she was wrong, but also, it took getting called out on live television for the Brandon administration to decide that was a good idea.
Yeah.
They had to wait for the poll to come in.
Right. Every once in a while, Basil, I try to forget about the crazy world that we're living in, all the lockdowns, all the craziness. I just want to enjoy some sports ball, but unfortunately the whole sports ball leagues are all controlled by the same people I'm trying to forget about, because by the way, I was watching some Lakers basketball last night. There's my Illuminati shield moment. Illuminatus! There you go. And it went to commercial, and it went to this ad with NBA All-Star nicknamed Cat. He's Karl Anthony Towns. And he was pitching this product called Q, spelled C-U-E. But when you're just listening to the ad, it sounds like, Q will empower you. It's all this kind of weird language that would trigger the QAnon folks kind of thing. But it's an at-home testing kit. And I went to their website. I could not find the actual ad. I would have played the ad for you because it's really like, oh my gosh, it's pretty egregious. And to use Karl Anthony Towns is really, man, I don't know. It's to me, it's kind of problematic because Karl Anthony Towns, according to NBC News here, lost 8 relatives from COVID-19, and his mother was among the 8. And so, they're really using him as a spokesperson for all the vaccine stuff and the booster and the testing and all that stuff. I don't know. To me, it's just kind of weird when you commercialize the death of your family as part of the story to become a spokesperson for a product. So anyway, the Q thing, I went to their website, and one of the things they mention is that, first off, Google, BARDA, Johnson & Johnson, although that may not last long, Mayo Clinic Laboratories, Memorial Hermann, NBA, Netflix, WNBA, all a part of the trusted crew of people. And it's in the trusted by segment here, it says Q is used by world-class organizations like the NBA, Google, Mayo Clinic, NASA, Johnson & Johnson, and the U.S. Departments of Health and Human Services and Defense. Q has already made an impact in our lives of tens of thousands of people at home, in the workplace, and in the community. So, I don't know. I just thought it was funny and interesting that they would have a product called Q for at-home testing, and then it's blasted all over the NBA with using one of their all-stars who lost people in his family, allegedly to COVID, but, probably some other things too. And so I can't get away from it. I'm trying to escape it by watching Illuminati sports ball. I guess that's my mistake. I should just stick to New World Order Fantasy League, and I'll get all my.
That's what you need to do, Gonz. That's the right idea.
Okay.
Well, we got some more clips, I think. Yeah. We're clip heavy today.
We're clip heavy. Yeah. This is from KXXV. It's a Texas outlet, I believe. And the headline is CDC, fentanyl overdoses, now leading cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 45.
We are now almost 2 years into the pandemic, but a new analysis shows there's a bigger public health killer here in the country.
According to the CDC, fentanyl overdoses have killed more people since 2020 than COVID-19 car accidents and suicides. 25 News reporter Alicia Nespresso has more details.
Fentanyl fatalities have nearly doubled since 2019. The CDC says the synthetic opioid is now the leading cause of death for Americans 18 to 45 years old. The country lost more than 37,000 people during 2020 and 41,500 people just this year between the ages of 18 and 45. Data from Families Against Fentanyl suggests one person dies from an overdose every 8.5 minutes.
It's affected all classes, all races. It's disproportionate. It started out as a white man's drug because it was affecting the heroin market.
Oh, hold on. Is heroin the white man drug?
Yeah.
Is it really? I didn't know that. I didn't know there were racial things to.
It's more geographical than racial. So yeah, I mean, it's a little silly, of course, what he's saying here. But it's more geographical. Like opioids and heroin is more of like a Appalachian scourge,
I guess,
than like an urban center scourge. You know, I mean, it's silly of him to say this, but I understand what he's saying.
Okay, well, because I think of the opioid dens in China and stuff like that. So it's not exactly just one race.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's the founder of the Families Against Fentanyl. So he's gonna play the cards.
Races. It's disproportionate. It started out as a white man's drug because it was affecting the heroin market. Now it's disproportionately affecting the black community. It's killing all of us. I don't see anyone that's immune to this.
The state of Texas also not immune. Earlier this month, the Texas DPS said it
to fentanyl.
I know it's a very interesting way to put it because it suggests, it begs the question: is there a cure for this, or is there a vaccine?
Nobody is immune
preventing
to fentanyl
overdose.
Yeah,
I don't know.
its officers.
I mean,
seized
There's Narcan.
There's not taking fentanyl.
There's also not taking fentanyl. But Gonz, most people who take fentanyl, or many people who take fentanyl, don't mean to take fentanyl.
Right,
There's
it's all
just
spiked in all kinds of other stuff.
A little fentanyl mixed in your cocaine or your heroin.
Right.
Like, it's not their fault. They're just trying to do regular old heroin, and fentanyl just kind of sneaks in.
Texas also not immune. Earlier this month, the Texas DPS said its officers seized enough of the drug to equal more than 36 million lethal doses. Experts say the stress of the pandemic has led more people to use these type of drugs, as well as the holidays, which can be hard for those struggling with addiction.
Anxiety, grief, everything drives this. That social pressure goes up. You start getting little cracks in society. And I think this poison's prevalence will make itself known during those types of things.
If I could get to my peer pressure jingle, I would have done it right there, but I don't think I had it on cue.
Man.
Do you remember that?
Back when I was a young kid, peer pressure was more about, maybe drinking a beer, maybe a doobie was involved. The kids are dealing with fentanyl
peer pressure. What are you scared? You scared you're gonna die? Oh, here it is.
Jeez.
Do it. Just do it. Do it. Come on, man.
And I don't mean to make fun of the fentanyl issue. Fentanyl is a horrible thing that's killing lots of people, and it's not cool. But this is you just have to laugh because it's out of control.
Yeah, and the problem, it doesn't stem from fentanyl itself. Who's bringing it in? Who's allowed? Yeah, exactly.
It's all manufactured in China, brought to Mexico, and then brought over to Mexico.
Yeah, so it's all It's like the oh man, I'm trying to remember in the book I wrote that never published. I talked about the takeover of certain countries, specifically Japan, World War II time period, where, and I've mentioned it before, where basically they coerce the emperors they take the kings and facing leaders, but also they totally take over the underground Yakuza gangs. And so, the takeover happens from both the public and the underground world. So if you're thinking in terms of that kind of operation, then yeah, fentanyl's killing people, and which means the operation is working, whether it comes from China or whatever. It's working so well that it has killed more people than, or at least in the ages of 18 to 45, more than COVID, suicide, and car accidents combined. Yeah, so that is crazy. That's crazy. A lot of people.
Yeah, and what the heck, man? Yeah, and this goes to the Narcan conversation, which I'm actually a huge proponent of Narcan, which is the sort of opioid overdose, not vaccine, but instant. It's like an EpiPen,
right? The EpiPen, yeah.
Opioids.
Is that the Pulp Fiction thing, or they use it?
That's the EpiPen.
Yeah, the EpiPen. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've made a habit of I keep EpiPens with me at all times.
Oh boy.
It's just part of being a prepared person.
Prepared opioid user? Is that what you're admitting?
No, you're getting mixed up.
Okay.
I'm talking about EpiPen.
Okay.
So EpiPen, I'm not allergic to whatever, but if you're just out in the world anywhere or with somebody or something, if somebody starts having an anaphylactic shock, if you're the guy with the EpiPen, you just saved a life.
Right.
And it's kind of similar with Narcan. It's this little nasal spray that, instantly brings somebody basically back from the dead from an overdose. Now, I don't know anybody who's taking opioids recreationally. I don't plan on being at a fentanyl party anytime soon, but it just is part of being it's a very prepper type thing. You know? I feel like just having some Narcan in the car is a good way to save a life someday.
Yeah, or at least trade if you get lost in the wilderness.
Sure. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know why I went off on that, but I am pretty passionate about Narcan being widely available.
Could Narcan save someone who is overdosing on fentanyl?
Yes.
Okay.
Immediately.
So there you go.
Yeah. So
that's your vaccine.
I know. It's not about health, folks. Not about health.
No, not at all. All right. Well, it's been a while since we heard from Fauci.
The data.
And his data and the science.
Science is truth.
And here he is. I'm never excited to hear from him, but and this is on CNN, and the anchor here, I don't know who this anchor is, but he's just as egregious.
Dr. Fauci, I'm not going to play it because, frankly, I think it's dangerous. But Jesse Waters, who was a Fox News entertainer, was giving a speech to a conservative group where he talked about you and suggested to the crowd that they ambush you with what he said was some kind of rhetorical kill shot. That was his exact word.
Rhetorical.
I'm wondering, how much that concerns you when you hear language like that about you and your well-being.
Well, John, that's horrible. I mean, that just is such a reflection of the craziness that goes on in society. The only thing that I have ever done throughout these 2 years is to encourage people to practice good public health practices, to get vaccinated, to be careful in public settings, to wear a mask. And for that, you have some guy out there saying that people should be giving me a kill shot to ambush me. I mean, what kind of craziness is there in society these days? That's awful that he said that. And he's going to go very likely unaccountable. I mean, whatever network he's on is not going to do anything for him. I mean, that's crazy. The guy should be fired on the spot.
Takes one to know one, Fauci.
Yeah. Talking about people who are going to be not held accountable for their actions. That's really funny coming from you, buddy.
Oh my gosh, this thing is, and the anchor clearly states,
funded the lab that created the coronavirus. This guy's not going to be held accountable.
Yeah, the egregiousness is level 10 on that one. I mean, this is like, it doesn't get any worse than this. And he's sitting there talking to, he takes it all personal. Oh, the rhetorical. No, he doesn't say rhetorical. He forgets to say that part. He's the assault or whatever it was. What was the word?
Yeah.
And whatever it is, he forgot the rhetorical part.
What's the actual quote? There was a quote. Hold on. I'll look for it.
He says it at the beginning. The anchor here says it at the beginning. Let me play it again.
Who was a Fox News entertainer.
Entertainer, by the way. And you aren't, folks. Fauci and anchor guy, you guys aren't CNN entertainers?
News entertainer was giving a speech to a conservative group where he talked about you and suggested to the crowd that they ambush you with what he said was some kind of rhetorical kill shot. That was his exact word.
Rhetorical kill shot. Rhetorical.
Yeah, but there's a longer one. Let me grab it here.
Yeah, grab the whole thing.
Here's the whole thing. This
okay.
Is the what is this? Okay. You got to ambush a guy like Fauci, okay? This is how you do these ambushes, like O'Keefe. You got to be respectful because they'll turn the tables on you, and you can't have it blow up in your face. He went on to give examples of questions to ask and tells the audience to record Fauci's response. Quote, now you go in for the kill shot. The kill shot with an ambush, deadly, because he doesn't see it coming. When this is when you say, Dr. Fauci, you funded risky research at a sloppy Chinese lab, the same lab that sprung this pandemic on the world. You know why people don't trust you, don't you? Boom, he's dead. He's dead. He's done. So he was kind of training young people. This was like at a youth conference or something. He was training young people to encouraging young people to, do some citizen journalism and walk up to him, ask him the hard questions.
Ask him the questions. Ask him the hard questions. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, but I mean,
I get the language. Yeah,
saying
the language
kill
he used.
Shot, he's dead, kill shot. He was just asking to be torn apart for this.
I guess.
I mean, he was. Yes,
sure. But
in today's media atmosphere, that's what it's about. That's what they did to Trump. It's what they do to everybody. They wait for the one perfect word you can turn into a headline and then go nuts on it and try to take something out of context or out of the spirit in which it was said and present it in text, which is devoid of any, inflections or whatever. And, people take it literally or present it in a way that is, at the very least, could lead to someone misunderstanding and murdering Fauci in the street or something. It was not a smart thing to do if his goal, and then this is where it goes. If his goal was to not show up on the news for a week about talking about a Fauci kill shot, then he should have changed his words. However, I have a feeling that he's not too sad that he's all over the news right now.
Probably not. And this also goes to show not just the news media and how shallow they are, but Fauci himself, that his arguments are based on ad hominems. They're not really, there could be a way where a person in the position of Anthony Fauci can handle a lot of things, which is that, just anytime you're on, be very milquetoast, just stick to the data, the science, or whatever. Literally show the data, but he doesn't do that. He's always deflecting comments from people.
He takes it personally.
Everything is personal, and it's just
that's
so weird.
His thing. Yeah, that goes back to pretty much all his best quotes. If you're attacking science, if you're attacking Anthony Fauci, you're attacking science.
Right.
It's all personal to him. That's the way that because if you go by the data shows he funded the lab and he killed dogs and he has some at least tertiary responsibility for the pandemic. That's the data. But if you keep it personal, then you can kind of say, "Oh, these crazy right-wing conspiracy theorists are just trying to destroy me or whatever."
Right. It plays on people's emotions for sure.
Which is a great distraction.
It is.
The point is,
it keeps it going.
It's not personal. Nobody cares personally about Fauci's personal whatever. It's literally everybody cares about the facts of his involvement with everything.
Right. And it goes to show the reality TV level of production of what this is. It's like manufactured drama here. Yeah. Okay, so here's another thing. We're pretty COVID heavy today, just in general. We're going to have a little bit more COVID stuff after the break too. But this story This is on Apple, so I couldn't get the whole thing. But basically, it's from CNN as well. And, I'll just let the clip play because it is very interesting.
As of this morning, the U.S. Secret Service is running more than 900 active investigations as the federal government aims to crack down on an explosion of scams related to federal and state COVID-19 programs. Already, more than $1 billion has been seized, but there is still more to find. The agency naming Special Agent Roy Dotson as the first National Pandemic Fraud Recovery Coordinator. And he joins me now. Good to have you with us this morning. I have to say, a lot of people may see this, and I'm guessing there are two thoughts out there. Number one, the Secret Service does this, and number two, that is a lot of money. Where are you focusing these efforts? I mean, just how bad are these scams?
Well, to date, good morning. To date, the Secret Service has seen enormous fraud related to unemployment. And
by the way, I'm sorry to budge in, but I feel like this guy's, is he new? Roy Dotson, Special Agent, U.S. Secret Service.
I've never heard of him.
He seems very nervous.
But we also don't follow the Secret Service very often.
We don't.
Or there's just not a lot of info.
Right.
Good morning. To date, the Secret Service has seen enormous fraud related to unemployment and SBA loans. We have seized, as you said, over $1.2 billion and returned over 2.3 via ACH returns. We just, continue to see an untick of that. Criminal individuals are opportunistic. So when the federal funding from the CARES Act was released, they obviously pivoted to that and began targeting those programs.
One expert told CNN this was like the Super Bowl and the World Series rolled into one for scammers and hackers. What is it about this funding or the release of these funds that made it seem like such a ripe opportunity? Was it that they could go, you mentioned unemployment, is it that they could sort of go after those funds as individuals or try to go after individuals?
Well, I think the availability to file online applications made it ease of use, and then the use of individuals. There's numerous identity theft victims that are involved in these cases. It's just, the primary thing that we saw was that individuals and criminal organizations could readily file these online applications and receive these benefits rather quickly.
It's a disaster.
He never answered the question.
No, he doesn't.
One of the questions was, why is the Secret Service doing this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not
why is
tell
the
us.
Secret Service? We don't know, and it's very strange. Why is the Secret Service doing this? This would be an FBI gig, I would expect. Federal funding, federal bureau. I think the number is funny. The 1.1 billion sounds like a lot off the bat. But California...
I was going to say the exact same thing.
The one state... I have the headline here from ABC News. This was from January. This was almost a year ago. California EDD admits paying as much as $31 billion in unemployment.
Okay, so you had the exact same thought I did, which was, hey, man, they better get to Newsom. Newsom knows a thing or two about giving away billions of dollars. You've only recovered $1 billion? Doesn't seem like that big of a scam.
So there's a lot of very suspicious things here. Like, why is it the Secret Service? And why is this number so low when we've seen just astronomically higher numbers of this COVID fraud in the past from a single state, not even federally?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, these government agencies need funding. They need to make it look like they're doing stuff.
Because they mentioned that 1.1 billion has been seized.
It's been seized,
and when the government seizes funds from criminals, most of the time they just keep the funds.
They keep it, yeah.
So I wonder if this is a way, kind of a backdoor way to give some funding to the Secret Service. Is like, hey, we know that there's 10 billion out there that we need to take back from fraud. So hey, if you want to go get it, you can keep it. And so
that's
they're like,
probably
who needs funding?
That's as good of a theory as any, because you think about the current situation. If the Secret Service, came up and said, "Hey, we need some funding," and the government's like, "Hey, look, we're cutting back. We're raising rates. It's going to be kind of difficult to really print more money and hand it over." But hey, we got the criminal people over there. There's a big pool of 10 to 20 billion or whatever it is. Right. Go get some of that, and that makes 100% sense.
Yeah, and we saw there was also that story in California we covered earlier in the year where they raided what was it? Safety deposit boxes.
Right,
and just stealing. It's like, I think it was just the FBI was just raiding safety deposit boxes, confiscating all the money, and just keeping it. Yeah. And people were having to fight to get their stuff back, and it was not easy.
No. Yeah, it's very strange, but, part of this also, he mentioned it, how, people can just sign up online. Anybody can do things online. It is an indictment on the current infrastructure of the internet. And if government agencies are going to start cracking down on how that works, because he talked about identity theft too, which, the identity theft issue has been ongoing for years now. I mean, some of the big hacks with credit unions and stuff like that. I mean, all of our information is out there. In order to change any of that, they're going to have to build something new or piggyback on some blockchain or whatever it may be. But the government definitely has their play on, this is part of the Great Reset. It's part of maybe the cyber pandemic, and all of it is an infrastructure that is going to be a lot more quote unquote transparent. And, it's just a tug of war right now. What's going to really come through? Is it going to be more of a people-centric technology that's going to underline Web3, or is it going to be government issued or central bank issued? And I don't know. It's a very interesting tension taking place as we move through the 2020s here. But all right, you got anything else on that you want to say?
No. I say we take a little break.
Party time.
Go to CanaryCry.Party, type it into your URL search bar, and it will take you to our LINKTREE, where all the various links to our media empire exists. Subscribe to our email list to receive newsletters with updates, and more importantly, show notes of the episodes. Explore all the platforms where we currently live stream. Connect with others on Discord, CanaryCry.Community, and other social media. And there's a wiggly support button that wants to be pressed too.
Wiggly support button. Yes. Okay. Well, let's thank some producers.
It's break time. Come on, take a break.
Okie dokie, folks. We are going to take a real quick break, but don't go anywhere, because after the break, we've got more show. We're going to be checking in even an extended COVID section, some more COVID after the break, as well as checking in on the Great Reset, the World Economic Forum, things like that. So don't go anywhere. But before that, we want to thank some producers. And that's right. I said producers because we are on the value for value model, folks. You may have noticed no advertisements, no affiliate codes, no corporate money whatsoever, no YouTube partnerships, no Twitch affiliates, all that kind of stuff. Indeed, because corporate money equals corporate influence, which is not a good atmosphere for true independent media like us. I'll keep it short again today because we're a little short on time. So the point is, advertising and corporate money altogether is, it's a very effective tool used in hijacking independent media, not just for, forcing them to stay brand friendly. Once you start getting on the corporate money train, people get used to it. They like the corporate paycheck, baby. And suddenly, if you start talking about things you're not supposed to talk about, or you're not talking about the things you are supposed to talk about, those corporations have no problem with holding it over your head and changing, or at least pressuring media producers to, shift, to align a little bit better, to remain brand friendly. And on top of that, Just the very concept of advertising is problematic. It's a dark cloud that covers the whole earth. And you might think, oh, it's not a big deal. I'll just press mute during the advertisements or blah, blah, blah. But the fact of the matter is, it's a little bit deeper than that, folks. The advertising industry has spent billions of dollars and used the most sophisticated psychological techniques to subtly manipulate us to spend money we don't need to spend in order to receive goods and services that we don't need to receive, in hopes that it will bring us some happiness or fulfillment or completeness or whatever. And the fact of the matter is that is a lie, folks. It's professional lying is what that's all about, and all in the service of making you, dear listener, a human being with hopes and dreams and a soul, to turn you into a useful cog in the economic machine that is our world today. And we just decided, hey, you know what? We do not need to play our part in that economic machine that is, well, A, evil in a lot of senses, also oppressive to most people on Earth, only serves the current structure of power that, you know, they don't need our help staying in power. And, you know, it's just an integrity issue. We don't like the idea of being incentivized to think of you, dear listener, as a product to gain your trust and attention, to gain as much trust and attention from as many individuals as possible so that we can turn around, package it up, and ship it off to some advertising company for our own personal gain. That's how Google does it. That's how Facebook does it. That's how all the most evil corporations we know about make their money. Why would we participate in such a system? We don't believe that it's spiritually healthy, and, you know, in the end, we don't believe it's going to be economically healthy either. So we're on the value for value model, which is simple. We create value. We do it as often as we can and as well as we possibly can. And if you get any value out of what we do, you have the opportunity or the responsibility to put some value back in. And it's not a quid pro quo thing. Don't get me wrong. It's not about, hey, we make value, so you give us your money. Come on, man, and guilting people into it. It's not about that. What it's about is, A, for the individual, taking personal responsibility for their media future means supporting the media that brings value to them. If you get something here that you don't get anywhere else, again, I like to just take a second. Think of your life. Think of your life before Canary Cry News Talk. What was it like? There's the onslaught of corporate media coming in all day, every day, and suddenly, perhaps, Canary Cry News Talk brought some sanity and some structure and some, you know, a lot of the things we talk about here, people already knew and felt deep in their bones, but hearing it said out loud on a show means a whole lot. So think about it, and whatever value you get, you can put the value back in. And again, it's not a quid pro quo, but it is the only way that the show can continue. And it'll be easy for Gonz and I to know when the show is done, because when the producers stop producing, we'll know that we have provided all the value we can. And why would we keep doing something that doesn't provide value? So that's why we do it. And people who support the show are called producers, because that's exactly what they are. Like the real world, when you pay to have a piece of media produced, you are a producer of that piece of media. And we like to thank them now. Are you ready, Gonz?
I am. It was funny because you were saying, I'm going to be brief, and then like a few minutes into it, you're thinking, think of your life.
Yeah, think of your life.
I was like, wow, we went
from yourself.
we went from this is going to be brief to think of your life, just in like a span of 2 or 3 minutes. I just thought it was great deep dive there.
It's a deep concept, you know, when you think about it. A lot of people don't like to think about it, and that's okay. You don't have to. You can always listen to the show for free. But I mean, if you really, that's what the producers have done, by the way. It's not a flippant thing where they're just throwing money around. They've decided that they get value, they want to keep the value going, and not only are they securing the value for them in the future, but they are also the ones securing the show for everybody else. So make sure to pray for the producers, thank the producers, and seriously, consider becoming one someday, because you can join the team that keeps the show going. Pray about it. Everybody should produce at least once in their lifetime. Not everybody has to produce every single show, but it feels good, and it's a real blessing to us and to everybody else. All right. There's a couple ways to produce the show. You can head over to patreon.com/ccnt, or you can head to CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. That's right, over there at CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. You can support the show with your cryptocurrency. We got our public wallets there. You can come in and support the show on a monthly basis if you want to commit to keeping the show going and helping us lay down a firm foundation when things get tight. It's the monthly producers that really shine, and we appreciate that. But if commitment is not your thing, you can go ahead and make a one-time producership in any amount. Gonz, who's coming in?
Well, first person coming in is our executive producer for episode 426, and that person is Morv.
Producer Morv coming in. Thank you very much. Executive producer Morv comes in with $111.11.
Where'd you find this?
That's right. And executive producer Morv is on a streak. 35 episodes in a row, and he comes in with a note here. Merry Christmas, family. Been going back through Leonard Ulrich's videos and also re-listened to his interview in Canary Cry Radio episode 125. It's all becoming more and more relevant as the days go on. Hope everyone has a great Christmas. Well, thank you very much, executive producer Morv.
Thank you, Morv. Appreciate that. And appreciate you co-leading some meetups as well. It's very cool to see. All right. Next up, we have our associate executive producer, who is an anonymous crypto Chad or Chadette.
Okay, anonymous crypto producer for our associate executive producer, coming in with 245,333 Satoshis.
Right.
Let's hit that crypto jingle.
Is this a crypto? Do I look like I know what a crypto is?
Yeah, what is a crypto?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you when you're older, Gonz.
Okay.
Let's hit this. Did we do the associate executive?
Oh, yeah.
Jingle? Yeah.
Here we go.
Yes, you are executive associate producer for this episode. Wild West.
Okie dokie. Well, Gonz, now I want to thank some of our calendar producers.
Yay.
We have a few more calendar producers coming in. If you don't know what that is, head on over to CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. At the top of the page, you'll see the whole breakdown of the calendar, and it's a very special item created exclusively by Canary Cry News Talk producers, filled with art from the Canary Cry artists, chock full of show quotes and Bible verses and important dates that are not only the dates you can find on any other calendar, but dates that are important to the show, dates that are important to the Illuminati, dates that are important to all sorts of crazy people, and it's all collected and compiled on one single calendar. It's a very unique calendar, perhaps the only one in existence, except for last year's calendar, and it's a very special, sort of exclusive, collectible item for the real Canarians out there, and it is available as a free gift to those producers who commit to keep the show going, help us start out 2022 strong by coming in and joining as a monthly producer of $20.22. And go check it out. I recommend everybody. If you're a real, this is not a contest, but I'm saying the real fans of the show will get a lot of value out of this calendar, and it's made in America. produced in America, and we're very proud of it. So I want to thank a couple producers here, starting with producer Deborah W.
Thank you, Deborah W.
Thank you very much, Deborah W. Then we have producer Sarah L.
Thank you, Sarah L.
Yeehaw. Then we have producer Anthony H.
Thank you, Anthony Hopkins.
Yes, that's right. Yes. And that does it for our calendar producers for this episode.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Well, we got some other producers to thank here. Then we're going to kick things off here with Sir Scott, Knight of Truth.
There he is. And you know it. You know him. You love him. It's Sir Scott, Knight of Truth, on a streak.
Quicker. Oh, yeah! Thank you so much.
Been supporting the show for 88 episodes in a row.
Oh, you want me to play it there? Okay, you want me to, I didn't know you wanted me to play it. Of course. Okay, all right.
Flawless victory.
Flawless victory, Sir Scott, Knight of Truth. Thank you very much. He comes in with 8888 and a note, 88 miles per hour. Merry Christmas, guys. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Sir Scott. Thank you for your continued producership, and congrats on the 88.
And very good. Yeah, thank you very much, Sir Scott, Knight of Truth. Next up, we have Laura C.
Laura C. is in the house, one of our Australian prisoners. Thank you, Laura C.
She's not our prisoner.
No,
you make it sound like she's our prisoner.
Good stipulation, right. She's not our prisoner. She's our Australian, who just happens to be a prisoner because of that. Thank you, Laura C. 7777, a backpack full of sevens. And a note, Merry Christmas, Basil and Gonz. I truly believe that if it weren't for your work this year, I wouldn't have made it through with my sanity. Oh. I praise God for you. Thank you so much again. Lots of love from Laura. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
Laura.
you. Appreciate that
very much. And thank you for your continued support of the show. You're part of the reason we can do it. So it's the wonderful circle of value.
Yeah, the value for value. Yep. Thank you very much, Laura C. Stay safe down there. Next up, we have Isaac G.
Isaac is in the house. Oh, I should have checked. I think Isaac might be a knight. I'm not sure. Maybe you can check that.
I'll check that.
Go see that while I do this. Thank you very much, producer Isaac G. And get ready on that jingle board, Gonz, because Isaac G comes in for 3333, which makes him Illuminatus.
Illuminatus!
Here we go. And Isaac G sends a note here from one Illuminati shill to the other. Have a Merry Christmas. Yes. Merry Christmas, shills. Dang, that would have been a good, that's a good Christmas shirt, you know, if we do like a holiday-themed Canary Cry shirt. Merry Christmas, shills.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Isaac G. I don't think he is a knight, according to my...
we'll figure that out later. Thank you very much, Isaac.
Next up, we have Christian N.
Christian N, one of our Canary Cry Norwegians here.
Oh, sweet.
Yes, comes in for 2021. Says, hi, B&G, greetings from snowy Norway.
Yay.
Here my support for this month as a big thank you for this year, 2021. Not to be confused with the 2022 for the calendar. The shipping is surely expensive. I remember you mentioning that when I ordered the Canary Cry Radio t-shirt. Yes, long ago. LOL, Merry Christmas, yes, he says God as they say here, which is Norwegian for Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Yes.
And a Happy New Year.
And a Happy New Year, Christian N. Thank you very much, Christian N.
Thank you very much. Good to see you. Appreciate it. Next up, we have Sir Casey, the Shield Knight.
You know him. You love him. He's on a streak.
Quicker. Oh, yeah! Thank you so much.
Okay. So Casey, the Shield Knight, 98 episodes in a row. Getting so close. And he comes in for 3333. Thank you, Sir Casey. And a note, Happy Christmas from your Illuminati Santa's helper.
Illuminatus!
if there was not a better metaphor for the workings of the Illuminati, Santa and his elves, I cannot think of one.
Has somebody made a Santa hat, which is just an all-seeing eye? The all-seeing eye pyramid.
I was gonna say, yeah. See, that's another good one.
That's a product that
he sees you.
Yeah,
when
he
you're
sees
sleeping.
you. Yeah,
he knows when you're awake. You're getting put on a list.
Yep.
And he's got lots of little sort of demonic creatures who are working there.
Behavior control.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Social engineering.
A slave class or slave race.
Slave class, yeah.
That helps both animal and humanoid.
Yeah, but even the animals are sort of like genetically modified chimeras.
Right.
Flying reindeer, red nose.
Yeah, they talk.
Talking.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Sir Casey the Shield Knight amongst them, I guess.
Yeah, and everybody knows he's there, but nobody can get him. Nobody can prove it.
Yeah.
Can't get him on camera. Nothing.
All right. Thank you, Sir Casey. Next up, we have Sir Aaron, Knight of the Cute Little Piggies.
There he is. He's back, and he's on a streak. 3 episodes in a row, which means Sir Aaron, Knight of the Cute Little Piggies, is heating up.
He's heating up.
Let's see here. There he goes.
A note.
Sir Aaron came in a couple times.
Oh, he
comes
is
in.
Okay, yeah. I see the note, and I see the note and what he's asking for, and I don't know if I can find it or not. But I'll look for it as you read this. Yeah.
Little window into what was Gonz was thinking at that exact moment. Everybody, Sir Aaron came in a couple times, one for 1111 and one for 36. That means that he has reached level 36 in the new Fortnite season. Thank you, Sir Aaron, our Canary Cry esports athlete. And he sends a couple notes here. Can I get Batman masks thing? Nobody likes you booster, and the Satan health workers, the Satan health officials, if you have them, no worries if you can't. Oh, Gonz. Second note, if I can figure it out, I'm not that smart. Would anybody generally be up for a Robot Jocks watch party next year? Just curious if anyone is interested. Blessings. Well, Sir Aaron, I can guarantee the answer is yes, because I would be up. I love the question. Generally be up for a Robot Jocks party. I would generally be up for a Robot Jocks party. And that could be one of the fun events we do in 2022. We've been toying with the idea of, doing a couple special events or figuring that out for the producers and just for the public in general as we continue to grow and figure out what the next year will look like. I think doing a Robot Jocks watch party is an excellent idea. How you doing on those jingles, Gonz?
Close, very close. But yeah, I like this idea of kind of a get together Robot Jocks party. Are we going to have real life robots though, or is it going to be
yes
models?
Yes, it'll be a live action replay where we will act out the original script, and it'll be a Canary Cry performance art, or we could just do an online watch party. Either way.
All right, Sir Aaron, Knight of the Cute Little Piggies. This one's for you.
If you're working alone, wear a mask. The mask's not for you. It's to protect the people you care about.
You know what? Nobody likes you, Booster.
State and federal health officials.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Sir Aaron.
Thank you, Sir Aaron. All right, next up we have Louis S. I think yes, Louis S.
Yes, Louise. Thank you very much. Good catch, Gonz. Louise S. comes in for 2022. This may be for the calendar, but Louise, I sent you an email. Get back to me on that email. But other than that, thank you very much for your producership.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have Heather Sir Russ.
Heather Sir Russ is on a streak.
Yeah, she's on a streak.
Women rule!
40 episodes in a row comes in for 1333.
Ooh.
Thank you very much, Heather Surus. And a note, hey, Bands and Gozzle, happy Wednesday, my dudes. We wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and keep doing what you're doing. Can we get a hairy legs and a Howard Dean? Much love, Heather Russ.
Got hairy legs. Got hairy legs.
Of course you can get a hairy legs and a Howard Dean.
Yeah, that's easy now. That's right
Easy
on the
peasy.
trigger, tip of my finger. Thank you very much, Heather Sir Russ. Next up, we have Jackie U.
Jackie U is on a streak.
Yeah, she's on the street.
Women rule.
7 episodes in a row coming in for 1267. Not
Interesting
sure what
number.
the number is. Yeah, maybe there's fees involved there.
Could be.
Hold on. I could probably do a little bit of research and find this out real quick. But while I do that, why don't we thank the next person?
Next up, we have Amanda P.
Amanda P, thank you very much. Amanda P is on a streak.
Yeah, she's on the street.
Women rule.
22 episodes in a row coming in with 1111 plus fees. Thank you very much, Amanda P.
Thank you, Amanda P. Next up, we have William F.
By the way, Jackie U's 1267 was $12 plus fees. So maybe for December, perhaps.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, try what again?
William F.
There we go. Thank you very much, William F., who's on a streak. Our previous executive producer comes in for 2 times, one with 1111 and the other one with 1111 plus fees.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and he sends a note, says, I am Batman. God bless you guys.
Oh, so we actually played a clip of you just a moment ago, and we'll do it again.
Was that him requesting a jingle?
I don't know, maybe, but this is William F.
If you're working alone, wear a mask. The mask's not for you. It's to protect the people you care about.
I love how it works out like that. You know, we don't plan for this kind of stuff. It just happens.
No, we certainly don't. Yeah. Thank you, William.
Thank you, William F. Next up, we have JC.
JC is in the house and on a streak. 51 episodes in a row comes in with the 1001 producership.
1001. Amen.
And he says, get ready, Gonz. It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Come on board.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
And the note continues. This is the United States of America.
You want me to play that, or you just...
Oh, I don't know. That's what he said.
This is the United States of America, for God's sake.
There we go. I pray you two and your families are blessed and edified during this season of remembrance and celebration of the gift of Christ. Thank you very much, JC.
Thank you very much, JC. Appreciate that. Next up, we have Cool Runningsman.
Yes, Cool Runningsman is back. We've got a note here. A little bit long, but it's fun. Hello, fellow humans. This is Cool Runningsman. Also, definitely a human. Have you tried Stubbs barbecue sauce? Very tasty on all kinds of smoked meats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so don't get it twisted, folks.
So is Cool Runningsman is Mark Zuckerberg? Is that what's happening?
He is a human being, and to question otherwise would be to question science.
No, I'm not against robots.
I'm for the robots.
The note continues. With that qualifier out of the way, this producership goes to Steph Pud. Oh, okay. We got to redo it, Gonz. It's going to Steph Pud.
Okay.
So thank you, producer Steph Pud. As some of the ladies on the forum arranged for a surprise virtual baby shower, we, the Cool Runnings couple, ambushed her with taco fixins, balloons, and gifts to shower her new bean with You're going to shower the baby with tacos and balloons.
Tacos and balloons and gifts.
Yeah.
Just like the Bible.
I was going to say, it's kind of like the Christmas story.
Yeah. The
gold,
three
frankincense,
magi.
and myrrh, except for it's tacos and gifts.
Gifts, yeah.
As she enters the meta world, it was sitting down that we learned that Steph Pud is a mooch.
Oh.
So because she and her humans listen to every show, and because it's more loving, instead of just calling them out as a money changer, moochmeisters, I have
motioned.
Yeah, sorry, I
you motioned out of your
I'm sitting in the dark right now. and I put my hand on the chair next to me, and I felt something warm and smooth, and it really freaked me out. But it was just the computer charger.
Oh, wow!
Really
living computer charger.
Yeah. Okay.
It's come to life. The black goo has brought your thing sentience. Okay, go on.
It was definitely distracting. Okay. So because she and her humans listen to every show, and because it's more loving, instead of just calling them out as money changer moochmeisters, I've motioned to donate this producership on their behalf to make them moochmeisters no longer. Congratulations to them into their new human fighting the NWO. And if we could also get them the Monday jingle on a Wednesday, that would also lit and ethanol family. Okay.
Ethanol. I don't know about the.
I don't know what happened here at the end.
Ethanol family.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Cool Runningsman. Okay, so let's hit them with the demooching, a Monday jingle, and that's it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do demooching.
Yes.
There you go.
There we go.
And it's Wednesday, but Monday.
Gary, what day is it? Monday.
Lit now, which is technically a streak jingle, but we'll allow it today.
Where'd you find this?
Hey, you lit now.
And
I don't think the last parts were jingle requests.
Oh,
but
would be also lit. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, he's saying it would be lit if we played the jingles. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the ethanol comes in, but maybe it was a typo. Thank you very much, Cool Runningsman, and congratulations, Steph Pud, for your demooching.
Yay! And we played the demooching and the little bean, little Steph Pooch bean or Steph Pud.
Yes, congratulations.
It's not Steph Pooch. Okay, thank you very much.
Another Canary Cry baby.
I know. We just have a whole generation of Canary Cry. Baby.
Our plan is working. Show is inspiring to procreate.
Yes. Okay. Next up, we have Palmer B.
Palmer B is back and on a streak. 5 episodes in a row. Thank you very much, Palmer B. Coming in with 831, sevens and fees. And a note, I counted this time, number 5. Okay, so we're going with your number, Palmer B. I'm enjoying my Gonz episode of Ravel today. Good. Thanks for being funny, because most other channels and shows for Christians are so dark and heavy right now, without joy or hope. Give me a random Fauci ISO to warm my heart.
I got plenty of those here.
Science is truth.
One. Oh, just one?
Mm-hmm.
You do not know what you are talking about, Data.
There we go. Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Palmer B. And yes, thank you for the compliments, and thank you for listening to Ravel. Everybody should go listen to Ravel. Gonz has an episode now, and we have a couple episodes now with Matthew Miller from the Logos Made Flesh YouTube channel, which is a lot of people like, and he's had some really intense life events that we recently had him on again. Very endearing fella. And we have our Christmas Eve episode coming up. Ravel ruins Christmas. So go follow Ravel.
Excellent. Yes. Thank you very much, Palmer B. Next up, we have Child of God.
Child of God is on streak. 31 episodes in a row, comes in twice, pocket full of sevens and threes and fees. Thank you very much, Child of God.
Thank you, Child of God. Next up, we have Sir Salmon's Night of the Fishes.
You know he's on a streak. Pocket full of sevens and a note. It's Wednesday, my dudes, and T-minus 2 days till I officially drop the ball on finding a good present for my wife. I've still got time.
Hey.
Many blessings from the fishes.
Hey, we already gave our recommendation on the last minute gifts.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Bitcoin trick works on wives, but you can give it a try. Let me know how it works.
I gave Bitcoin to my wife.
Okay, how'd it go?
She said, what can I do with it? And I said,
why are you giving me this piece of paper?
Don't touch it for like 10 years.
Don't spend it, yeah.
And then we will be millionaires. And a tank of gas will cost $40,000.
It's an investment in your future. That's how you romanticize it. You say, let this Bitcoin be
a representation of our love.
Of our love.
a commitment.
Growing every year, and soon will be worth $1 million.
Our love is directly tied to the cryptocurrency market of Bitcoin. If it goes down, we're having a bad day.
Oh,
if it goes up,
don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Gonz. Right, thank you very much,
kidding,
Sir
yes.
Salmons.
Yeah, that's the one difference between gold and Bitcoin. In theory, gold, people use for jewelry. I haven't really seen Bitcoin jewelry yet. Although
Bitcoin jewelry would be great.
It's coming. In AR world, it's going to be there.
Oh, totally.
That's my prediction. Okay. Thank you very much, Sir Salmon's Night of the Fishes. Appreciate that. Next up, we have Gail M.
Gail M is on a streak.
Yeah, she's on a streak.
Women rule!
64 episodes in a row, pocket full of sevens, and a note. Hola, mi chicos dulce. God bless you too, and all of my Canary family as you enjoy your friends and families on Christmas Eve/day. Hallelujah. XXXX. Oh. Thank you very much, Gail M.
Thank you, Gail M. Good to hear from you. And Merry Christmas to those people celebrating Christmas. All of our producers.
Yes.
Oh, we got a few more producers to thank, though. I forgot about that.
Yes. We've got that concludes our list of producers who've come in at 777 and above, entitling them to a note to be read on the show. But we've got a few more to thank, starting with Dr. Who Dundat, who's on streak. 35 episodes in a row, coming in with threes and fees. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doc.
Next, we've got producer Veronica D on a streak.
Yeah, she's on a streak.
Women rule!
64 episodes in a row. Thank you, Veronica D. Next, we have producer Runk Smash, who is on a streak.
Yes.
And also, he's a crypto producer.
Is this a crypto? Do I look like I know what a crypto is?
Blockchain. And he has been supporting the show for 50 episodes in a row, which means he has reached the Nifty 50 Jubilee Jamboree.
Nifty 50 Jubilee, that's what it is.
Here we go. Thank you very much, Runk Smash, and we'll have microfiction later on in the show. Okay, I think that's everything and everybody, and it's time to thank them for their patronage.
Shut up and take my money.
Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage.
Yes, it's wake-up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
We're going to do a little bit more COVID stuff. So a couple jingles to set us up here.
We're taking things that are genetically modified organisms and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein, right into the vein, right into the vein, right into
the World Health Organization, WHO.int headline, WHO lists 10th COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use. It is called Nuvaxovid.
Yeah, they're really good at naming these
Sounds
things.
like a joke.
Mm-hmm.
NU, like new, Vax, V-A-X, Ovid, like COVID. Nuvaxovid. A hard time saying it.
Yeah, they don't get any better.
No. And yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Another emergency.
Believe it or not, it is somehow worse than Comirnaty.
It's Comirnaty. What happened to Spikevax? I thought we would hear more about Spikevax. That's a good.
I don't think that's in the U.S. I think that's a European one.
Oh, you mean the Nuvaxovid? Or Spike? I thought Spikevax is American.
Spikevax. Oh, I could be wrong. Anyways, I don't know.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. So anyway,
whatever.
More vaccines being brought to, I guess, shoot people in the arm through the emergency use authorization. I wonder if that's ever going to... I mean, I guess technically, the people that get to decide, or at least the organization's tied to the people that decide whether something is okay to use under emergency use authorization, are the same people that are declaring this a pandemic. You know, it's like, okay, well, if you guys say so, I guess, but...
This is so late to the game. I can't imagine how they are going to get any market share?
Yeah, I don't know. It's got to be something. That's probably why they rolled out the Omicron. Maybe that was part of the play. Like, hey, we got a couple more shots that we're supposed to roll out there. We made some promises, So who knows?
Okay.
There you go. You want to do this next one?
Yeah. This was actually interesting. Again, as we sort of track the shift in media coverage about vaccines, of course, we had Chris Shilzilla going on his rant. We had
his meltdown.
CNN admitting a COVID death last episode. And now we have another interesting piece. This is coming from WebMD.com.
Oh, perfect.
So, I mean, not necessarily like the sort of scientific. It's not like
the bastion of scientific integrity.
Yeah, but it is like the front-facing, science representative of medical health for normal people going on the internet.
I have heard from some of my normie friends, they've been very skeptical of WebMD. So it could go both ways.
There's the joke. There's the jokes about WebMD, which is like, it doesn't matter what symptoms you have. If you search them on WebMD, it means you have cancer.
Right.
It always tells you have cancer.
Yeah.
So, but, it is a mainstream, household name.
Yeah.
But anyways, it goes like this. The headline is New Zealand says man's death may be linked to Pfizer vaccine.
What?
So you have New Zealand says. That's the headline. New Zealand says. So the country of New Zealand may be admitting this. And it goes like this. Health officials in New Zealand believe a 26-year-old man's death may be linked to Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. The man died within 2 weeks of his first vaccine dose, according to Bloomberg News. An early review shows that that's interesting too, that Bloomberg is reporting it.
Mm-hmm.
An early review shows that the probable cause of death is myocarditis, which is a rare side effect of the vaccine that inflames the heart muscle wall. Quote, with the current available information, the board has considered that the myocarditis was probably due to vaccination in this individual. New Zealand's COVID-19 Vaccine Independent Safety Monitoring Board said in a statement to Bloomberg on Monday. The board said that, quote, COVID-19 infection can itself be a cause of myocarditis as well as other serious illnesses, and it remains safer to be vaccinated than to be infected with the virus. The man's death marks the second in New Zealand that may be linked to the COVID-19 vaccines. Bloomberg reported in late August, a woman died from myocarditis, which the board said was likely due to vaccination. 2 other people, a 13-year-old child and a man in his 60s, have also died with potential myocarditis, though they may not have been related to vaccination.
Okay.
Yeah. May not have, which means they got the vaccine. They just didn't officially say it was because of the vaccine. So that's funny. They're reporting this as one man. When really it's 5 people ranging in all ages and gender identities, Gonzo. Quote, the benefits of vaccination with the Pfizer vaccine for COVID-19 continue to greatly outweigh the risk of such rare side effects, the board told Bloomberg. The World Health Organization has said myocarditis is very rare, but has been reported after Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, according to a late November update. The cases have become more common in young men ages 16 to 24 after the second dose of the vaccine, typically within a few days of vaccination. Quote, available data suggests that cases of myocarditis and pericarditis following vaccination are generally mild and respond to conservative treatment and are less severe with better outcomes than classical myocarditis or COVID-19, the WHO wrote. The risks of myocarditis associated with SARS-CoV-2 infection is higher than the risk after vaccination. Yeah, they love to make that point. And it goes on, but it just kind of wraps up saying the CDC continues to recommend everybody gets vaccinated 5 years and older. But very interesting. Again, never was the mainstream media even admitting to any possibility of adverse events at all, much less full-on death connected to the vaccine. And the interesting thing about this for me is that, the talk about the myocarditis has been going on for quite a while. But it is. It was the acceptance that it could possibly kill someone that was untouchable.
Right.
And the point now is that the mainstream has admitted that there's tons of, not tons, but that
people have died from
myocarditis
caused by the vaccine.
And if one person has died, which they like to put in the headline, but when you read the article, 5 people have, that means how many more? And we see reports of this over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So they've sort of taken the first step on the slippery slope, it feels like. And all you got to do is just put the pieces together yourself, even if they're not going to tell you outright. But, it's interesting because to get a black box label on a drug, you only need 5 deaths from the drug. And so, that's why all these are may and might and you can't do that, because as soon as there's 5 deaths from a drug, you get a black box label saying that it's extremely dangerous. So I don't know how many worldwide have officially gone on the record, but notice how when it's reported, it's always may. It may have been blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, that you bring up a good point. If they need to keep that number under 5, then they will do whatever they do to keep it under 5,
Because if it goes over 5, it is over with.
Hey, this person had myocarditis after they had the shot and they died too.
Well, there's no way to prove. No way to prove.
He's white, so it doesn't count. All right. I'm sure that's kind of what they think about. Okay, we're going to finish off the COVID segment with a fact check.
Please tell me it's from Reuters.
We actually have 2 Reuters fact checks in a row, and I know you love it, Basil, because...
But it's crazy, dude. They have been on this fact-checking train so hard lately. They're putting out so many of these fact checks, Reuters specifically.
I guess this is a couple weeks old.
It's like they got a new fact check employee.
Yeah. They got some funding for fact check. Some banker gave him a whole bunch of money, and they're like, "This is only for fact checks."
Yeah. And it's all very specific too. Yeah, they're not even sort of like general fact checks. Somebody is working very hard over at Reuters to produce these fact checks.
Yeah, this fact check is fact check. No evidence COVID-19 vaccines are linked to athletes collapsing or dying from myocarditis.
Sure. Okay. Tell me. Weave me a tale, Reuters.
Refiling to correct spelling of Christian Eriksen's name. All right. There's no evidence currently that COVID-19 vaccines are linked. Oh, by the way, so just to mention, this was November 29th, and I guess it was updated a little bit ago. But so this is before the media really started to admit stuff, just keeping that in mind from our last story about myocarditis. So it says here, there's no evidence currently that COVID-19 vaccines are linked to an increase in sports people. Sports people collapsing or dying due to heart issues such as myocarditis. Numerous montage videos showing sports stars collapsing or suffering chest pains during matches are circulating on social media here and here. And there's a couple videos that I'm sure everybody has seen of soccer players falling over, and there's a little bit of a I don't know. So modern soccer, people have said they fake falling and stuff like that, so it didn't help that conversation. But goes on here. One clip shared on Facebook shows several incidents of football players collapsing on the pitch. It also includes news headlines about It also includes news headlines about similar cases from around the world of sport. This writer is very interesting because
wonderful world of sports.
But it's plural sometimes it's singular, both professional and amateur. Another post includes a link to a blog which strongly suggests the incidents are related to COVID-19 vaccines. Reuters presented the posts to the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, the MHRA, the British regulator for drugs and vaccines, which said there is currently no supporting evidence to back up such claims.
Okay, well, if they say so.
MHRA Chief Executive Dr. June Rain said, quote, the MHRA closely monitors the safety and effectiveness of the COVID-19 vaccines, including reports of suspected heart inflammation, myocarditis, and pericarditis. Myocarditis or pericarditis remains a very rare potential risk with the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, and the events reported are typically mild, with individuals usually recovering with treatment and rest. The current evidence does not suggest that sporting exercise is a contributing risk for these very rare events.
Okay, no, what does that have to do with anything?
No, because we're saying the vaccine is responsible, not exercising.
Yeah,
MHRA, Dr.
They do this every time, bro.
They do. It's every single time.
Reuters fact checks are completely useless.
I know.
Every single one of them, they start with the question and then don't ever answer it.
Yeah.
They have people, experts, whatever, answering totally different questions, related, but not the question at hand.
And
this is outrageous.
And they do this thing every time too. Quote, the public's safety is our top priority. Has there ever been emptier words spoken by many of our politicians and leaders? Our advice remains that the benefits of the vaccine outweigh the risks of the vagina. Yeah, we know that. This is the line. This is the mainstream line. We ask anyone who suspects they have experienced a side effect linked to COVID-19 vaccine to report it to the coronavirus yellow card website. Was it? Mm-hmm. Are they trying to be cute about that with the yellow card with soccer?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, Reuters also presented the videos to FIFA, World Soccer's governing body, which said, quote, FIFA is not aware of a rise in episodes of cardiac arrests as indicated in your email, and no cases have been flagged in relation to individuals receiving a COVID vaccine. Generally speaking, FIFA is in regular contact with leading research centers and experts to do research on a variety of medical topics, end quote. Moreover, the Cardiac Risk in the Young, CRY organization, a British charity that funds medical research and supports families of young people affected by heart conditions, told Reuters they were, quote, not aware of any published or peer-reviewed research into alleged links between sudden cardiac arrests in athletes and COVID-19 vaccines. Well, maybe because they don't want to do that study because they find something.
This is so annoying. I just kind of skimmed through the rest of the thing, was hoping to find some sort of something valuable. Spoiler alert, there's nothing there. They go into the more people get myocarditis because of getting COVID, blah, blah, blah. And it's... I lost it. Keep going.
All right, well, let me just skip down then because, they're basically, for the soccer people dying, according to Dr. Scott Murray, clinical director of Cheshire-based heart clinic Venturi Cardiology, they echoed Morris's comments on the risk of myocarditis caused by vaccines compared to the risks posed by COVID-19. He also said the attention to these cases was possibly due to high-profile incidents shared online, pointing to the widely publicized collapse in June of Danish football player Christian Eriksen.
You know what they don't mention in here almost at all? They don't mention the correlation that all these athletes are having these myocardial events immediately after getting the vaccine.
Yeah.
They don't mention a single correlation. They keep saying there's no evidence, but they don't take a second to say there is correlation because this all happens right after getting the vaccine, but there's just no evidence. You could play the card. They could play the correlation does not equal causation card, which is this is a whatever. It's trite. It's a it's a boring argument, but it is at least correct and at least answering, at least being honest about the fact that all of these sports people are keeling over right after getting the vaccine.
Yeah, well, they kind of get into that. They touch on some of that here. Professor Jeffrey Morris, the director of biostatistics at the University of Pennsylvania, told Reuters they would need to be a high burden of proof to establish a link between anecdotal reports of footballers collapsing and vaccine-induced myocarditis. He said via email, quote, "One would, of course, need to establish the rate of cardiac arrest is higher than what is typical pre-pandemic, and then even if there is evidence of significantly excess events right now, determine whether it is being driven by COVID-19 infections that might be undiagnosed, especially in young people, or the vaccines." Oh, okay. So, yeah, if we're going to do the test, you got to blame COVID, too. A quote, "I haven't seen any data or papers connecting the dots to support this type of assertion, so I'd classify it as a hypothesis driven by anecdotal reports that are definitely worth following up on, but seems way premature to begin spreading the notion that this is the truth, that these are driven by vaccination." So, it's their whole extraordinary claims requires extraordinary evidence. Yeah. But, according to Reuters, verdict, no evidence. There's currently no evidence that COVID-19 vaccines are linked to reports incidents of athletes collapsing in public. Just no evidence. Reuters.
None at all. Yeah.
Cha-ching, cashing in that check, whoever paid
annoying. They are so annoying when it comes to this stuff.
You hate this so much that we are going to do another one.
We need a great reset.
Yeah, here we go.
Well,
another fact check.
This one's even crazier, dude. It's even more infuriating.
This one is nuts. This one was published today, so
And this one, you can't even claim no evidence on this one. Listen to this one. Reuters.com. Fact check. World Economic Forum letters show 51st annual meeting invites.
Mm-hmm.
Invitations for Dutch politicians to the World Economic... Sorry, I thought this was a different one. They... we've actually read the one that really bugged me was the fact check. The Great Reset is a conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, this is along similar lines because they toe the same worldview here. So
totally. Yeah. And it's the World Economic Forum.
Yes.
Invitations for Dutch politicians to the World Economic Forum Summit have been misrepresented online to claim they are leaked letters of evidence of secret collusion between the Swiss organization and the Dutch government to push the Great Reset, a proposed economic plan at the center of widespread conspiracy theories. Social media users shared photographs of letters addressed to Dutch Finance Minister Wopke Hoekstra and Sigrid Kaag, former Minister of Foreign Trade and Development Cooperation, saying they have been leaked. Okay, I'm seeing them. Okay, there's letters with some highlighting on it.
Do you want to read the letter?
Yeah, should I get in there nice and tight? Let's figure this out. Should I read just the highlighted area?
Just the highlighted area, because I think that's...
So there's a letter here. Let's read the highlighted part. The discussions will focus on shaping policies for the post-COVID-19 era under the theme of the Great Reset. Your contribution to the work of the Great Reset will be especially critical at the annual meeting. The forum will work with your staff to ensure that the participation becomes a major force in shaping the Great Reset. So it's basically just the mentions of the Great Reset.
The normie would look at this and be like, oh, this has got to be fake.
Mentioning just the existence of the Great Reset is getting fact-checked by Reuters here. The papers are refreshing widespread conspiracy theories, including that the Great Reset is part of a sinister plot for a global takeover by the rich and powerful. Oh my gosh. It's not a conspiracy theory. You literally just read it right on their website.
Yeah.
One user sharing the document wrote, "The Great Reset can no longer be dismissed as a conspiracy theory. The plan is that by 2030, you will own nothing and you will be happy." However, the, quote, leaked letters are in fact invitations to the 51st World Economic Forum.
Oh,
what do you mean?
The Great Reset is real.
Yeah. What do you mean, however? It's like they have a template for fact checks.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter like what the details are, as long as it follows the template for a fact check. It's like the right sounds in the right order to convince like sheeple that there's nothing to see here. It's like it's like in the Naked Gun movies when the building's on fire, people are running around and things are going completely haywire, and what's his face is just like, nothing to see here, folks. Keep on moving. Nothing to see here. I'm a police officer.
Right.
However, the leaked letters are, in fact, invitations to the 51st World Economic Forum annual meeting, which were released by the Dutch cabinet in response to an MP's request, according to a Hoekstra spokesperson. Additionally, the World Economic Forum and its affiliates have been open about its Great Reset. Yeah, exactly. Economic proposals in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. On request of Pepe van Huilingen, a member of parliament for the Forum for Democracy Party, the Dutch cabinet sent official documentation, including invitations regarding the WEF, to the Dutch parliament, said Roel de Miekers, the financial minister's spokesperson. The documents were also published in the Dutch government's website, blah, blah, blah. So what they're fact-checking here is the word leaked.
The word leaked! That's all they're doing!
That is all they're doing, is fact-checking the word leaked, that these technically weren't leaked, they were released by the government, and then they're just sneaking in all this fact-check stuff just to make you think that the Great Reset is fake, but also real.
It's real, but not a global takeover by bankers, and even though...
even though it's bankers, they're getting together to have just a meeting about how to rule the world afterwards, but not take over the world.
Which by the way, that Davos was canceled this year because of COVID, and I'm thinking rescheduled, and I'm thinking there must be something going on here because you know the world's not shutting down because of Omicron. I mean, they're trying, but for Davos to be like, you know, or Klaus, you know, we will use this opportunity to.
I mean, they had their last Davos in the midst of a pandemic, and now they're canceling this one.
Yeah, this is a weird time to be canceling.
Makes no sense. So there you go. Reuters fact-checked the word leaked from some Facebook post. Some Facebook posts said the word leaked, and that's what they're fact-checking, not the Great Reset.
You know what's funny, though? Anybody that has any inquiring mind that reads this would be like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how real the Great Reset actually is. I mean, they talk about Britain's Prince Charles talking about a reset moment. Everything's sourced. You have, you know, the whole World Economic Forum.
That's a good point.
It's almost like, I don't know. I wonder if the authors or the team there, even somebody within the team maybe, are like, dude, this is ridiculous. This is an insanity. Let's just make it as ridiculous as possible, but include facts in there, even though the verdict is going to be ridiculous. And it says here, the initiative has been advertised widely by Klaus Schwab, and then verdict, misleading. The letters were not leaked, but were released as part of a Freedom of Information request. There is no evidence the Great Reset is part of an ominous plan by the World Economic Forum to control people.
I used to like Reuters, but this has really gotten out of control. Well, speaking of which, a follow-up, Gonz, about the Great Reset, the 2030 agenda, which we've been talking about the 2030 agenda for 10 years. And before that, it was the 2021. What was it? It was
Agenda 21. It was called Agenda 21. Yeah. In 2015, the Pope came to the U.S. and announced the United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda. He did it at the UN in New York. I remember documenting that whole time period there.
Yes.
And there's a lot of stuff going on. And that's when a lot of the... I mean, it wasn't called Build Back Better, but that's when that was implemented into a lot of parts of the country. There were a lot of UN programs.
The date was set. The date was set. 2030.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is coming from thestar.com. The headline, newly launched PBM to bring about new political standards, says Noor Hizwan.
Okay.
The newly launched multiracial Parti Bangsa Malaysia, PBM, it's a political party, aims to bring about a new political standard with its main agenda known as the Great Reset 2030. Oh, yay.
They put the 2030 in there, finally, just to make it clear.
The Great Reset and Agenda 2030 finally got together, fell in love, and had a baby.
It's the same thing, though. It's incest.
Born in Malaysia. Noor Hizwan, who is Plantation Industries and Commodities Minister, Datuk Zuraida Kamarudin's former political secretary, said that the party would focus on 6 main pillars, being a multiracial party, representing the voices of the youth, championing the rights of women, economy, science and technology, as well as education. So just all the things.
Everything. We will take over with our Great Reset 2030.
We'll be the political party representing all of the things.
Multi-race, the children, the women, the money, the science and tech, and what you learn. We will control it all.
Education, yeah. He added that the party has 53,109 grassroots members from the non-governmental organization Penggerak Community Negara Malaysia. Noor Hizwan is PKN chairman and also the chief executive officer of Malaysian Rubber Council. So it's just a bunch of industry guys. It's a bunch of big business guys coming together. So they went to their, their World Economic Forum meetings. They got together to say, we're the rich guys. We are the stakeholders in the world economics, stakeholder capitalism, and we'll take care of Malaysia. Don't worry, Klaus. We got you over here.
Yeah, these are. It's kind of like putting a carrot.
The buzzwords.
It's putting carrot on a stick for all these nations if they want a piece of the reset money, the trillions of dollars that are going to move or starting to move already.
Yeah, and to do that, you have to represent. You got to be multiracial, represent the youth, championing the rights of women, economy, science, technology, as education. It is literally just a list of things given to them by the World Economic Forum if they want to be on the right side of the Great Reset.
Yeah, and the ESG...
And it's all big business, evil corporate guys. I mean, I'm sure if you look into these rubber plantations, I mean, that's one of the problems is in America, you can't use words like plantations.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And stuff like that. But these are all the owners and the captains of the industries of the rubber plantations, the plantation industries and commodities, it's all the sort of evil lizard people of Malaysia coming together, dropping the right buzzwords and getting hooked into the Great Reset.
Yeah. There was something that I didn't include in the show, but I'll mention it here just because we're talking about it. The World Economic Forum had recently we reported right from their website, the WEF website, how there wasn't a lot of confidence with the ESG program, and people were confused about it. And some of that continues. There's another headline from the World Economic Forum, and it was how to address sustainable investment backlash and improve ESG reporting. So they're still working on it. They're still really trying hard to make it all work under this thing. And it mentions in here, the fast-growing sustainable investment sector is coming under scrutiny. Many investors are concerned by the possibility of greenwashing. Stronger definition of ESG products is needed, while investors must hold organizations to account. In the stark message in the wake of COP26, more than half of consumers across 17 markets believe investors in financial service companies have an obligation to help the environment and should be doing more. Enter sustainable investing. Sustainability-aligned investing has been growing fast. Bloomberg estimates that by 2025, we're about to enter 2022, this is in 3 years, more than $53 trillion could be invested globally in sustainability funds and portfolios.
Jeez Louise.
53 trillion. That's almost double our debt.
Yeah.
That is insanity. That is so much money.
Double the national debt of the United States of America in 3 years.
In 3 years is going to pour into the sustainability. That's why these governments are like, Great Reset 2030, new agenda. We shall do it all, because it's all this money is going to pour in.
From their perspective, it's either you get on board or you get left out. There is no in between, and now's the time. You have 3 years. Are you in or are you out?
Yeah,
and
they really.
The corporate shills are in.
The corporate shills are in, and it's funny because some of this pushback, it must be just people who have a good head on their shoulders in this realm of investing or whatever, thinking like, well, wait a minute, isn't this just like, aren't we just saying things? Isn't it just labels?
Yeah.
But which it is. But hey, if you want your money, you got to say the right things, apparently. So anyway,
gotta do it. All right.
There you go.
Okay, should we take a look at some art?
Let's do it.
It's break time! Come on, take a break.
This is our second break. Our first break was to thank our producers who came in with their treasure. In this break, we're going to thank producers who come in with their time and talent. And that's because Canary Cry News Talk is a place for therapeutic reflection of our troubling world, and ourselves and our producers like to express that through art and music and poetry and all kinds of ways. There's more than one way
for
to.
The soul.
It is, and it's good to share the art so that we can all, reflect and therapize. Is that a word?
That's correct.
Together. So, to start things off here, we're going to thank the timestamper Jackie Yu.
Woo!
Who did the timestamp.
Thank you very much.
And I think this was her first time, so thank you very much,
it was
Jackie
her
Yu.
first time. She did a great job.
Appreciate
it, Jackie.
And that brings us to the jingles.
We have a new jingle.
We have a couple jingle. Well, we have more than a couple jingles. We have we received.
Yeah, we might have to speed through some of them, but there's some great ones in there.
Yeah, so we got a note from Millennial Boomer Bro Love. He says, "Seasons, salutations, gentlemen. Not unlike the little drummer boy, I don't have much to offer. No trap beats do I bring. Pum. But I did want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, so I made a few calls to a, let's just say, an elf on the shelf on the inside, and they were more than eager to share some clips with me, according to my connections. These are just a few of Santa Claus Schwab's favorites."
Does that mean we have a mole?
I think so. Yeah,
we might have a mole.
I don't like it. So this first one is Dr. Mike Rattling Cages.
But we usually think of those beings as angels. The trick is, and here's where it becomes a more complex thing that rattles people's cages.
There it is.
Yeah, it says Dr. Michael Heiser on Canary Cry Radio episode 40 that JC picked out. So somebody took the clue, found it. Yes, Dr. Michael Heiser and Canary Cry Radio rattling cages since I don't know, that would have been 2013 probably.
Yeah,
13 or 14.
We got another one here titled Adolf
Hitler. Ever heard of him?
Okay. All right. It's a fun little thing.
I think a lot of this is just you and I, or mostly you.
I think a lot of them are clips. Yeah, I gave you a list of the ones I think that really nailed it.
Okay, so we played one from the list, which was the Mike Heiser.
Yeah,
the second one is misinformation here. You want to play that one?
Yeah.
Spread misinformation on their podcast.
I think they just like the way you said podcast there.
Podcast. You could do sports ball.
Sports ball. Let's see.
Sports
ball. Talk about a lot of sports ball.
That one I think we are going to have to use. Although I will say this, for whatever reason, Millennial Boomer Bro Love, how many did he send here? 12. He sent 12 clips.
Many.
10 of them did not work when I downloaded it, which is weird. I think it's my end. I don't think it's your fault, but it was just strange how I don't know if these are WAV files. Maybe try sending them as MP3 or MP4. But then what's the last one you wanted to play here?
There's a couple more.
Let Them Dance is another one.
Let Them Dance is fun.
Let them dance, Gonzo.
This is very strange.
Very strange, Gonz.
Wow, I didn't realize. Do I slur that much? I sound like Biden.
That was
United States of America.
Yeah. You have the Biden accent going on there. Let's see. This cat will pump you up is fun.
But
this cat will pump you up.
This cat's going to do it.
This cat's going to do it.
This cat's going to do it.
Then one thing I did appreciate was he clipped the whole Epic of Gilgamesh.
Oh.
Yeah, it's long. We can't play the whole thing here, but I'm glad we have a big clip of it. We can do something with it.
Very good. Yeah. I don't see it in the list.
Oh my gosh, you're right. I think the Runk Smash Microverse Lizards could be fun. Click on that one.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
It all connects, Basil. It's all coming together.
Gonz is trying to build a rapport with the lizard people here.
Is that you? Is this you?
Is that you, criminal?
I don't trust him.
I don't trust him. Fun stuff. Thank you very much, Millennial Boomer guy.
Millennial Boomer Bro Love.
Bro Love. Thank you very much. Lots of fun stuff to play with here. We'll see if we can work it in.
Yeah.
It's almost like we could build a repository of just ISOs that are made available to jingle makers and stuff, so they can just go through.
Eventually, I would like to just make the entire library here a public thing, and so that I'm accessing a web type of browser
interface.
Interface to actually, some kind of cloud server. Anyway,
we'll figure it out. Thank you very much, Millennial Boomer Bro Love.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have one from Learbag 3000. And he has a note here. Hey, Ganso and Basil. Matthew 7:7. Ask and it shall be given to you as requested. A very sus jingle. And I believe I have it. What happened to the sus jingle? Here it is. Sus jingle.
That's perfect. That is exactly what I was looking for.
I feel like it's going to be played a lot on to wrap up our point.
There's a couple times I wanted to play it
today.
Episode.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I agree with you. Yes, I thought about it, but we didn't do it. But
thank you very much, Learbag, for delivering the jingle of my dreams. You're a champion and an important aspect of what we do here.
There was a jingle that we needed. I can't remember what it was. We made
you were
the
talking
call
about
for it.
Antarctica.
Antarctica. We need an Antarctica jingle. You know the drill.
Yeah, we need
the thing.
It's
that's a tough.
Do you
one,
have
though,
an example? Like, do you know of anybody who says Antarctica?
I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean,
you gotta
chattering.
come with an idea.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Cold, because right now it's just a thing that I say it's cold. And
maybe there's like a. This might be too much work, but you could find a bunch of news reports about Antarctica
and mash it together somehow.
Like some wind, and then Antarctica, penguins, Antarctica, snow, ice, scientists, or blah blah blah. Something like
that. I'm melting, something like that too. Throw that in there.
It's a lot of work to dig all that up, but
I'm sure you can find Alex Jones saying Antarctica, they're opening the abyss. That'd be perfect.
Oh, I like alpaca suitcases. Antarctica, go brrr.
That is pretty good. Yeah, maybe just the dollars start flying out of the abyss there.
Money printer go
settled.
Okay. We'll settle that. Sorry about that.
We're going to continue. Antarctica news just keeps rolling in.
Yeah, we got an Antarctica news at the last part of the show here. All right. So thank you for that, Learbag 3000. Appreciate it. And Millennial Boomer Bro Love both coming in with jingles. So we're going to move on to the arts.
One art, please.
Dame Alley of the Skillet Nation.
One RC, another one from Alley now. Here it is.
And this is titled "They're Free." Get your vaccines, get your boosters. They're free. It's your choice. Do it.
It's your choice. Do it or else.
Get vaccinated.
That's funny. And this is a portrait of Joe Biden with his big old smile, his big old Joe Biden teeth. He's got his eyes all scrunched up. He's having a great time. And it says, people with booster shots are highly protected. Join them. Join us. And yes, his eyes are looking a little dark there, but I think if we zoom in, we see the lizard
pupil.
Yes. It's been a while since I've seen him actually smile and enjoy himself. I don't think he's having a fun time.
He's mad.
Think minority.
Yeah, he's scolding us more often than not. So thank you very much, Allie. Wonderfully done. And again, really brings out the expression, the wrinkles, the scrunches. It's, some might think it's the people suit slipping off of the reptilian beneath, but whatever the case may be, wonderfully done.
Armageddon's on the way.
The one thing that I think is brilliant about this piece from Allie is the teeth. She captures the teeth really well.
He's got his special brand.
Something. That's the one thing I noticed very early when he was doing some podium talk. And it was when we were looking at it and thinking, like, is he CGI or what's going on? It was that mouth thing that he did, and his teeth just always look so artificial. Maybe he dyes them or something. I don't know. But anyway, good job, Allie.
I'm sure they're veneers or something.
Thank
you very much, Allie.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have Sir Dove, Knight of Rusbeltia.
One art piece from Dove.
And this is when the haters start tuning out of the show. I was listening until you guys started talking about fantasy football.
No, they love the fantasy NWO
it's like
league.
One guy upset.
They're going to miss
it.
out. I know. Well, there's always somebody upset about something,
especially in our world.
Well, you got to stay out of the YouTube comments, man.
Yeah, I know. It's fun. It's a good time. Dove here sends a note. Peace. Wanted to send this week's page for players for the upcoming 2022 NWO Fantasy League draft. Going to get some help with it from Psalm 40 and whoever else wants to give an assist on the community page. Hope you guys like it. Keep doing what you do, and I'll keep praying for yins.
That's right. We're still drafting people who are enthusiastic about being involved in the New World Order Fantasy League. It's happening. It's coming together. It's unofficially one of our big projects for 2022, and Dove is leading the charge, getting people involved. Thank you very much, Dove. I think, me and Dove got to talk. We'll solidify some stuff. So we have some more cards, some more player cards here. These will be some characters that you can draft onto your New World Order fantasy team, starting out with Dr. Francis Blowhole. Age unknown, location 7 Seas, specialty stealth. That's right. We learned about Dr. Francis Blowhole. Yes, he's the post-dolphin cyborg dolphin. Some of his stats here. He's got a bionic eye that fires lasers and detects COVID. He's got the highest IQ of any player. Oh, that's worth something. You get 5 points anytime High Priestess Sophia is mentioned. Oh, yeah. The humans, robots, and dolphins ruling the world. 10 points anytime animal flippy hybrids are mentioned. 33 points anytime dolphins specifically are mentioned. Yeah, okay.
That's a pretty strong card. Strong player.
Strong player, yeah. Now we've got Georgie S. We've started with the code
nicknames.
Yes.
Nicknames.
We've got Georgie S. You can guess. He's 91 years old. His location is the crypt. His specialty is mastermind. And some stats here. Tagged along with Nazi Godfather confiscating Jewish property during World War II. And 1 line, you're sick. 2 lines, you're pregnant.
That's right.
Deep cut there. Deep cut for the Canarians, yes. Teaming up with a pregnancy test company to make the COVID tests. 10 points anytime Soros-funded organization is mentioned. Ooh, that's a lot of points.
Yeah.
5 points anytime Nazis are mentioned.
Oh, wow.
That's solid.
Liberal news outlets can be real strong for Georgie S.
Yeah, Vice News is a big Georgie S. I'm pretty sure Vice News is funded by Open Society Foundation.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Emperor Klaus Patine. He made it on the list.
There you go.
Age 83, location Germany, specialty turtle that can survive outside. I can't even finish it. His specialty is he's a turtle that can survive outside of his shell.
Okay, Lloyd V needs to, unless he did it already. Maybe he did it already. I feel like
He did.
He did the turtle. Okay, that's where it comes from. All right, that just stirred my memory. I'm like, wait a minute, I think I've seen this before. Okay, go on.
Stats. Be building back better, bruh, with 6s instead of Bs. Sounds just like an evil villain. He wins any draw against team with a politician.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, he's got a special
tiebreaker.
power.
Yeah,
he's a tiebreaker. That's good.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well,
good
is
play.
Emperor Klauspatine. He is a tiebreaker. Then we've got Gates of Hell, age 66, location Pacific Northwest, specialty eugenics. Only ever discussed philanthropic endeavors with disgraced suicidal billionaire. Yeah, remember? All he ever did with Epstein was discuss philanthropic endeavors.
Yeah.
Tinder profile been smacking since Melinda bounced.
I don't know how that's helpful in the game.
It's stats, just to know a little bit about your player.
Sure.
5 points anytime any of the 3 amigos is mentioned. Ooh, that's good. He benefits from the other 3 amigos, too.
Yeah.
Of course, that's Fauci, Francis Collins, and Bill Gates. 5 points anytime Ghislaine and Jeffrey are mentioned. Wow, very specific. Very specific set of point getters there. Thank you very much, Dove. I love it. I'm so happy that the
vision is coming to pass.
The vision is coming true. Yes. Wow, it's really weird. I have a blank spot in my brain where this word should exist. Progress.
Okay. Progress. Yeah, there you
progress. Oh no, that's not a good sign that progress is missing
from the brain file. Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah. Well,
thank you very much, Dove.
You're traveling. You're fine. You leave pieces of you behind when you travel.
That must have been it. Yeah. And for those who are a little confused, Dove is making a dream come true that I've been talking about for years. Invented it on a Joyspiracy Theory episode I did with Derek Gilbert. So has
he seen? I don't think he's seen any of this so far.
No, I should contact him and let him know that.
We need to tell him. Yeah, we need to show him because he will play.
He's a big fantasy league player.
He's a fantasy baseball guy. I played 1 year in the league with him and Heiser. It was at the very beginning. I had no idea what was going on, and I think I lost a bunch because I didn't know what was happening. So
sure. Well, yeah. So that's the thing. Once we get the NWO Fantasy League going, I'm gonna reach out to Derek, see if he wants to get involved early.
Tag him on Twitter or something, and
yeah.
Or I can email him.
All right. Thank you very much, Dove.
Thank you, Dove. Appreciate it. Next up, we have a piece here from Grace. It's Miss G Beauty.
Yay.
She has a note. Hello, Basil and Gonz. Not sure if this is a show day. It is. You never know, but thought I'd throw together some
all
art.
Odds.
I know. From episode 423. I would go see a robotic dolphin, mostly because I would love to see his slimy robot face trapped in a cage instead of a real dolphin. I think you said this. This had to do with.
I was going to say, I think you said this, but no, you're right.
No,
I would go see a robot dolphin.
Yeah, this had to do with the Flippy update about robot reindeer and Sophia's obsession with dolphins and how most animals in zoos will be robots one day. New in-person NWO Fantasy League Pong. That's me. And then you said Pong. Then I said, You don't remember Pong? And you said Pogs. Come on, Boomer.
Got it.
This was just a funny mix-up. Also, I remember playing with my brother's Pogs back in the day, and it brought up fond memories. Also, I love the difference of the Pongs and Pogs fonts. Have a lovely day and great holidays to the both of you. May it be filled with family, memories, and good food. Many blessings, Miss G Beauty. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the artwork is of that. Dolphins.
Yes. She
robot
does
quote.
Illustrated
quotes.
Representations of the quotes, yes.
Very well done. I like this. I like all of it. All right. What are we doing now? Meetups?
Let's do some meetups.
Canary Cry Meetup.
you can go to CanaryCry.Meetups.com and find out if there's a meetup happening near you to meet like-minded people, listeners of the show, producers, knights, dames. They're all out there scattered across this world. Whether you think it's flat or a ball or concave or whatever it may be, we're out there. We're listening. And if you want to connect with those people, do that. Look to see if there's a meetup happening near you. And if there's not, you can go ahead and choose a location, figure out a date and time, make a flyer, and promote it, which we will help you do. The only virtual meetup that's taking place right now is once a month, every third Saturday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., led by Ciara. It's a Zoom call, ready to connect outside the cage. Come join, hang out every third Saturday of the month, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific time. Contact CiaraLauren93@gmail.com. Ciara is also leading up the Canary Cry meetup in Washington in Canada. It's not till March 19th, 2022, but it will be at the Peace Arch National Park at 12 noon. So we'll probably get more details as we get closer to that. I saw that we got a report
from Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, I've got it here.
Okay.
This is from Josiah, of course. He's planned and executed the Baton Rouge meetup, and he sent a little update here. Hey, guys, the Baton Rouge meetup went off, not without several hitches.
Oh.
It's hard to plan a meetup across the country. Several places I wanted to go to decided to be closed, and several people ended up not being able to make it. Bummer.
Yeah.
But in the end, we got our sushi and had a good conversation. It could be great too. Big shout out to Holly, the only other canary in there. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, good. When two or more are there, who drove all the way from San Antonio to meet up. Can't wait to get back to my Idaho CCNT fam, Josiah. Wow. Well, big shout out to Holly.
Thank you, Holly.
Josiah, thanks for doing the planning. Holly, yes. Well, yeah, stoked you made it. Bummer more people couldn't make it. Sounds like there was a bunch who were planning, but couldn't quite follow through with that. But glad you guys had a good time, got some sushi, and hope it wasn't too much of a drive for you, Holly. Texas, where is San Antonio? Is that on the east side of Texas?
I don't remember, but I have been to San Antonio for swimming stuff when I was a kid, and I remember the Riverwalk. Have you ever been to the Riverwalk?
No.
It's got 5 million gallons of recycled wastewater flowing through the middle. It's pretty sweet.
No,
it's a big kind of like a food, place to hang out or whatever. So I remember
San Antonio to Baton Rouge. I'm going to map this out. San Antonio to Baton Rouge.
Here's another fun fact about San Antonio. Lynchings used to be held in front of the San Fernando Cathedral until the priests cut them off.
Yeah, well, good for that. Yeah. So the priests cut them off?
Yeah.
Wow, that is a 7-hour drive. Holly, you are an angel. You are an angel.
Wow.
That's incredible. Well, I hope you had a good time in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And sounds like you had a wonderful time there hanging out with another Canarian at sushi. Sushi's always good.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Thank you very much, Josiah and Holly, for making it happen.
Yep. So, appreciate it. And, it's too bad that more people couldn't make it, but we understand this is a difficult time
Weird
now.
Times, man.
Yeah. Not just with the holidays, just with the Great Reset with Klaus, stuff is challenging. Yeah. Josiah's also what? Yeah.
I'm just looking at the chat here. I think Holly might be in the chat.
All right. Sweet. San Antonio is Central South.
Yes, I see that.
If you are, obviously, if you couldn't make it to Baton Rouge, Josiah is doing the North Idaho meetup on January 9th. And that's going to be at 3:33 p.m. It will be a 2030 agenda-themed white elephant gift exchange. And that's the Coeur d'Alene meetup. So contact josiahbdyer@gmail.com to get more information about that one. It's coming up in, 2 or 3 weeks, I guess. Yeah, man, we're at the end of 2021. How crazy is that?
Mm-hmm. I know.
Florida meetup, January 22nd, 2022, the Florida Panhandle Canary Cry Community Meetup. 5:33 p.m. at the Ye Old Brothers Brewery in Navarre, Florida. Kids welcome. RSVP kmbrown815@gmail.com. And our timestamper for this episode, or last episode, jackie.umfrey@mail.com. And hopefully all you Floridans out there make it out to this meetup. And
there's a bunch of them over there.
Yeah, yep.
Florida's pretty big.
It is
but
big.
But if Holly can drive 7 hours...
Oh, the excuses are no more.
You can drive from one side of Florida to the other.
7 hours? It takes 7 hours to get across Florida? Well, I guess
San
from
Antonio.
one end.
No. 7 hours with San Antonio.
No, I know. But you said well, okay. Anyway, all right. I get what you mean. Yeah. I was just thinking.
I think it's less than 7 hours, is what I'm saying.
Right. So I was going to say less.
Unless
of an
you're going north to south, it's a long.
I was going to say, could the northwest tip
stop.
to the southeast tip?
Up this. No.
Okay. One more meetup planned here, January 22nd, South Carolina meetup. For people in Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina, RSVP sccanarians@protonmail.com. That's producer JC and producer Morv. It's the South Carolina Super Southeast Mega Meetup, and it's going to happen at 4:30 p.m. at the Yeehaw Brewing Co., Greensville, South Carolina. So look out for that one, and if you're in that area, definitely make it. And I think it's less than 7 hours from anywhere between Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina to make this meetup. So you are out of excuses.
We got a bunch of South Carolinians who listen to the show, so
yeah,
I'm sure that meetup's going to be a blast.
There you go.
Okie dokie. Let's see here. What else do we have?
Are we done with meetups?
I think we're done with meetups.
This is fun!
We have our microfiction, do we not?
Mm-hmm. We have microfiction.
It was from Runk Smash.
Yeah, it's from Runk Smash. Woo!
I love that one.
Yeah, me too. You know, Runk Smash sent a bit of a longer note, which usually we would not read, but it's got some fun stuff. So I'm going to read it real quick.
Yeah, Runk Smash has been around for a while. So we'll...
It says, first, thank you for the year of mirth among the dystopian crisis. No matter the crazy news, you always remind me that God is still in control, and this looks like what he has been planning all along, so it's fine. Next, Basil, thank you for reminding me to decorate for Christmas. I've attached a picture of my Christmas cactus, the traditional jam, and my Drothgar, the desert gnome, placed neatly in the kitchen window to ferment until Christmas morn. Thanks for spending 3 whole episodes of Ravel on this subject. The microfiction never ends with Rank Smash. You are an inspiration to all of us weirdos and oddballs. And lastly, Gonz, you've been right about so much so far. Don't let Basil bully you about the murderous cyborg horse. Is just as viable an option as the dish brain and Neuralink were 10 years ago. That is a good point.
Yeah, that's right.
Your egg factory cyborg horse employee could very well come to fruition. Thank you very much for the note, Runk Smash. Did we get a picture of this cactus?
Are we allowed to show this thing, or is it a...
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Let me go to the emails.
Here. Yeah, we can show it. There's no faces in here. It's just...
I mean, gotta see the Christmas jam cactus in Drothgar, the desert gnome. That is hilarious. Ah, yes, the holidays. Brings me back.
I was hoping for a more standard cactus, a little more punky.
Cactus ain't easy, Gonz.
Apparently.
All right, here's the microfiction.
Okay.
As they prepare for the show, Basil and Gonz send each other articles. The ongoing murder trial of the cyborg horse. The rap battle between the dish brain and the meta kids. COVID Sigma Pi is the deadliest variant in years at 99.9999823% survivability. Oh, the dangers of the Sigma Pi variant. Sigma's the next one. I already called that. So... so it sounds like in the world of the microfiction, Gonz, we're getting back to work, getting back to our roots.
Nice.
After a successful video game career.
Very good. Sounds like a good deal.
Thank you very much, Runk Smash.
Thank you, Runk
Appreciate
Smash.
Happy Christmas.
And that does it for all of our producers. We can't do it without you. We appreciate all of you guys spending your time, talent, and treasure in making the show happen. And just as a reminder, if you are a producer of the show, you can put it in your CV, your resume. Yeah, this is something you can boast about.
Yeah, some people have it in their Twitter bios. It's good times.
You should, don't do this for real unless you really mean it. But you can go to your boss and be like, hey, I deserve a raise. Because I already produced this. I'm already looking at this other thing here. And
especially if your boss listens to the show.
Oh, yeah.
You should be compensated for the value you're bringing to the company.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, let's wake up. We got a couple more stories, and we got to get out of here, man.
Yes, it's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
It's cold.
Wake up. It's the meta.
It's cold, Basil. It's cold.
Oh, if only we had the Antarctica jingle.
That's snowstorm.
Antarctica, go burr.
Antarctica, go.
Money printer, go burr.
Hold on.
Oh,
let me just get the burr part. Huh? Antarctica, go burr. Okay, go ahead.
Oh no, it's taking this entire time for the story to open. There we go. Okay, this is coming from dailymail.co.uk. The headline, Oasis of Life is discovered beneath Antarctica's Ekstrom ice shelf. 77 species are recovered, including saber-shaped moss animals and unusual worms, Gonz. The wormicorns have been found.
Wormicorns are emerging from under an ice shelf.
From the ice. It's time. The time has happened. The time has come. Deep beneath the Antarctic ice shelves, the environment is about as harsh as it gets. Extremely cold, perpetually dark, with food sources almost non-existent. It is not exactly conducive to life, even if the Earth is home to some remarkably hardy and resolute creatures that exist in all corners of the world.
But they admitted there are corners. The corners of the world.
But rather surprisingly, scientists have actually discovered 77 species living there, including evidence that this oasis of life dates back some 6,000 years.
Oh, 6,000. Interesting number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect number. Among them were saber-shaped moss animals and unusual worms, researchers in Germany found. Using hot water, the steam from the Alfred Wegener Institute drilled... Oh, the team, not the steam. Drilled 2 holes through nearly 656 feet of the Ekstrom.
Close.
I know.
It's 10 more feet, guys. Right. Come on, 10 more feet.
656 feet. You can go 10 more feet of the Ekstrom ice shelf near Nyomar Station 3 in the southeastern Weddell Sea in 2018.
Oh, wow.
Despite being several miles from the open sea, the biodiversity of the specimens they collected was extremely rich, richer in fact than many open water samples on the continental shelf where there is light and food sources. The fragments of life on the seabed collected were extraordinary and completely unexpected, the researchers said. They discovered 77 species, including saber-shaped bryozoans, moss animals, such as Melicerita obliqua and serpulided worms, such as Paralospira sicula. Lead author Dr. David Barnes, a marine biologist at the British Antarctic Survey, said, quote, "This discovery of so much life living in these extreme conditions is a complete surprise and reminds us how Antarctic marine life is so unique and special." Oh, those wormicorns are so special. It's amazing that we found evidence of so many animal types. Most feed on microalgae, yet no plants or algae can live in this environment. So the big question is, how do these animals survive and flourish here? The team concluded that there must be enough algae carried under the ice shelf from open water to fuel a strong food web. Microscopy of the samples showed that, surprisingly, annual growth of 4 of the species was comparable with similar animals in open marine Antarctic shelf habitats. Co-author Dr. Gerard Kuhn, who coordinated the drilling project, said another surprise was to find out how long life existed there. Carbon dating of dead fragments of these seafloor animals varied from current to 5,800 years. So despite living 3 to 9 kilometers from the nearest open water, an oasis of life may have existed continuously for 6,000 years under the ice shelf. Dun dun dun. There you go, Gonz. Lots of things going on in Antarctica. You've got the mummified penguin battles, the hidden Nazi Arctic bases, and the wormicorns have survived since the creation of the Earth.
You know, I've been saying something is up with Antarctica, and a lot of people have been saying that. But, you know, when they start talking about creatures and worms and saber-shaped moss and thousands of years of living under the ice, how are we not supposed to think like, oh, what else is down there? If we're just discovering this now,
I know.
What else is going on under the ice sheet?
Could be anything, Gonz. So we're going to keep an eye out and in Antarctica, because news just keeps coming out. It's building up to something. It's got to be
the emergence of the NEPHILIM penguin.
Yeah,
that'll be
Speaking of which,
it'll be the opening scene of our movie, our full movie metaverse.
NEPHILIM update. NEPHILIM update. NEPHILIM update.
DailyMail.co.uk. This is a Daily Mail segment of the show, folks.
Yeah.
Meet baby Ying Liang. Exquisitely preserved dinosaur embryo is discovered inside a 72-million-year-old fossilized egg in China.
Whoa.
Do you even believe? There's part of me that doesn't even believe this is true. Anytime China says anything, it's like, okay.
Who knows? There's no
Fauci, did you fund the baby Ying Liang?
Yeah. Life finds a way, Gonz.
Yeah, that's what they say. An exquisitely preserved dinosaur embryo has been found curled up inside a fossilized egg unearthed in southern China, dating back some 66 to 72 million years. Oh, that's a big gap. Give or take 6 million years. I always love that when scientists say that. It's like, give a million here, million years there. The embryo has been dubbed Baby Yin Liang and was found in the rocks of the Hackaday Formation at the Shahi Industrial Park in Guangzhou City, Jiangxi Province. Paleontologists led from the University of Birmingham said the baby Ying Liang belonged to species of toothless, beaked theropod dinosaurs, or Oviraptorosaurus. Hold on.
Nice.
Oviraptorosaurus. How do you say that? You gotta do an English.
No, you nailed it. You did it perfect.
Did I do it perfectly? Oviraptorosaurus. Oviraptors, which were feathered, are found in the rocks of Asia and North America and are varied and had varied beaks and body sizes, allowing them to adopt a wide range of diets. The specimen is one of the most complete dino embryos known and notably sports a posture closer to those seen in embryonic birds than usually found in dinosaurs. Specifically, Yin Liang was close to hatching and had its head below its body, its back curled into the egg's blunt end, and its feet positioned either side of it. In modern birds, such a posture is assumed during tucking, an embryo behavior controlled by the central nervous system that is critical for a successful hatching. The discovery of such behavior in baby Ying Liang suggests that this is not unique to birds, but may instead have first evolved among the non-avian theropod dinosaurs. There's a little picture here of the fossil.
I mean, it's a bird. That's the thing, man. There's new information, man. Dinosaurs were just birds.
Well, maybe they were bird-reptile hybrids.
Which really is difficult because we know birds aren't real.
Right. Well, they didn't have the government drones back then. Well, even the birds aren't real mythos says that, like, was it 1978 or something when all the birds were killed off?
Replaced.
Replaced.
I see. Right.
So this is,
So this is really what a real bird looks like.
Yeah.
But we call dinosaurs are really just real birds. So what? You got a Nephilim egg over there in China? Is that what I'm being told?
The study was conducted by vertebrate paleontologist Fionn Wysam Ma of the University of Birmingham and her colleagues. Quote, dinosaur embryos are some of the rarest fossils, and most of them are incomplete with the bones dislocated, Miss Ma said. We are very excited about the discovery of baby Ying Liang. It is preserved in a great condition and helps us answer a lot of questions about dinosaur growth and reproduction with it. It is interesting to see this dinosaur embryo in a chicken embryo pose in a similar way inside the egg, which possibly indicates similar pre-hatching behaviors. Wow. Baby Ying Liang takes its nickname from the Ying Liang Stone Nature History Museum in Xiamen, among whose fossil collections it is held. The researchers believe that the embryonic Oviraptorosaur would have been some 10.6 inches from head to tail, but was developing curled inside a 6.7-inch long egg. The embryo was acquired by the director of the Ying Liang Group, Mr. Liang Liu, as suspected egg fossils around the year 2000. Oh, this is old, said paper author and paleontologist Lida Xing of the China University of Geosciences in Beijing. You know, that goes to show, too, anytime anything happens, we don't hear about it for like 10 to 15 to 20 years. Like, we'll hear about it when it's there's a good use for it or something.
Right.
I mean, I don't think we have to go through any more of the details. It kind of breaks down the bones and everything else. And there was a video.
But I want to hear the Gonz Shimura breakdown. What does this mean? How are we being lied to?
Well, there were birds back then.
Uh-huh.
The Bible says they're birds. So this is probably a bird.
Oh, okay.
And they were probably pretty big, too. How do they know it's like
Nephilim bird?
Yeah, it's a Nephilim bird. And the theories about what the dinosaur were in the context of the Nephilim are very interesting. You know, that the human beings lived amongst what we perceive or know to be as dinosaurs. It wasn't millions and millions of years ago, that kind of stuff.
Got it.
Anytime they find or they publish stuff like this, it's always a little bit interesting, because what is the takeaway? Are they just trying to, is this just another feather in the cap of evolution? Is it more funding? Usually it's funding. So maybe University of Birmingham, working with China, are looking for some extra cash to do more research. But
some
also
Confucius Institute connections.
Oh, I'm sure there's probably some there. And the theme of our last little segment here, we have the oasis of life under Antarctica. We have ancient fossils of dinosaurs. As we enter this genetic age, I really think they're going to unleash or, publicly try to do some really wild hybrid stuff. Underground bases, secret tunnels, whatever. They probably already do this kind of thing, and this is why they're starting to, we've seen the theme here. What was the show with the hybrid children being born from a pandemic or whatever?
Sweet Tooth. I
mean, it's all out there, but now we're starting to see some of the science to support the move to a genetic age where, the talks about resurrecting the mammoth and stuff like that. I don't know. There seems to be just kind of a cultural or social conditioning taking place for the Nephilim to really just appear at a point in time when, or return, I guess, at a point in time when it's kind of like, oh yeah, of course we have kangaroo hybrids with, kangaroo with gecko hands or whatever my reference was, horses.
That'd be cool.
And people won't really care. It won't be that big of a deal because, number one, it's been in our mythology for years or for centuries, for generations. And now we have it's because of science. It's because of our human ingenuity and our curious minds that we are able to reconstruct or open up Pandora's box like this, which goes to show that a lot of what Jesus said was true, as it were in the days of Noah. And one of the characteristics of the days of Noah appeared to be some kind of mixing of the kinds. And so here we go. That's what we're seeing. And of course, we have to have the creatures from the past exist in our world because, extinct dinosaurs specifically is modern mythology, right? And I get there's bones and stuff, But like the lure, like when I was a kid, and I'm sure when you were a kid, Basil, we were given a lot of dinosaur propaganda.
Back
dinosaur
when we thought
predictive
they were
programming.
lizards.
Yeah, we thought they were lizards. There was a show, Dinosaurs, with the talking dinosaurs. You know, I had the little sponges you put underwater and they blow up into like it's it's just a thing that kids learned about. But now it's not just that; it's real stuff, extracting the real stuff, and it's just a sign that we're in the days of Noah.
NEPHILIM update. NEPHILIM update. NEPHILIM update.
There you have it, folks. You heard it here first.
I should have my "As It Were in the Days of Noah" jingle ready to go at certain points of that too, but I don't. It got lost in the shuffle here. But
well, the show evolves. We'll figure it out.
You seem to mock the these notions that I put out there recently.
No, it's a great extrapolation.
Yeah, I'm just ranting about stuff now, but it's hard for me to not see at least some level of connection here, and at the very least, it's a good talking point with friends, family. If stuff like this gets brought up.
Try to fill the silence during Christmas dinner. Go ahead, bring up how dinosaurs are propaganda to usher in the age of the Nephilim, the ancient progeny of angels
and human women. Well, especially since it's Christmas time, you're talking about Jesus and all this kind of stuff. I know it's not exactly his birthday, but let's not get into let's not get too, into
Ravel
the details
ruins
with that.
Christmas coming out. Christmas Eve.
Yeah, we know when Jesus was really born. It was not on December 25th. But if that conversation comes up, you can always bring up the Nephilim as part of it. It's in your Bible. Hey, why don't we crack open the Bible? Let's start in Genesis 6. And let's talk about the Nephilim. And then you can, have that conversation of why Jesus is important and in the context of the Nephilim and taking down the Watchers, reversing Hermon, as Dr. Mike Heiser's book is titled. So it all, it's all good resources for a good conversation with friends and family who might look at you all crazy, kind of like how your googly eyes look at me crazy every single time we do a show, Basil. Whether they be in person or the looping googly eyes that have been with pupils dilating and shrinking for 3 hours staring back at me.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. We will be back someday. Right now, we'll be attempting to be back, on the 29th?
I believe I thought it was the Monday, 27th.
It's the 27th. Okay, we will be attempting to be back on the 27th. You can, if that's something you're interested in, start praying about it and start producing. We'll see if we can make it work. But if we are not back on the 27th, we'll be back first Monday of the new year, which will be the 3rd. So we will see you soon, talk to you soon, no matter what. And if you get any value out of what we do here, make sure to pray about it, think about it, and become a producer of the show. It's the only way we keep going, and there's a couple ways you can do that. You can head to patreon.com/CCNT, or even better, CanaryCryRadio.com/support.
CanaryCryRadio.com/support.
Of course, I want to thank the producers for this episode, including our executive producer, Morph. Thank you very much, Morph. Our associate executive producer, who is an anonymous crypto producer. And, of course, the rest of the producers, Deborah W., Sarah L., Anthony H., Sir Scott, Knight of Truth, Laura C., Isaac G., Christian N., Sir Casey, the Shield Knight, Sir Aaron, Knight of the Cute Little Piggies, Louise S., Heather Ceres, Jackie U., Amanda P., William F., JC, Cool Runnings Mom, or even better, Steph Pud. Thank you, Steph Pud. Palmer B., Evelina G., Child of God, Sir Salmon's, Knight of the Fishes, Gail M., Doctor Who Dundat, Veronica D., and Runk Smash. And, of course, thank you to all of our artists and jingle makers and everybody who puts in the time and the work, such as the timestampers, to making this show possible and making it what it is. It's really been a wonderful year with everybody, and a year of support in so many different forms from the producers. We're so grateful and excited to get into 2022 and do it again, folks. So thank you very, very much. And so remember, you can become a producer. We still have calendars that can be obtained. Running out of time, though. This calendar, this particular calendar program will end as 2021 ends. So if it's something you're interested in and you want to snag a calendar for you for 2022, you can follow along with the rest of the Canarians with all sorts of great stuff. The arts, the quotes from the show, the Bible verses, and all those funky dates that only you and the other Canarians will be aware of as they happen. It'll be fun to see what strange anniversaries come by on show days. That'll be a blast. And remember, you can support the show in so many ways, not just financially, but if you're a creative person, create art, jingles, music, whatever. Send it to CanaryCry.Radio@gmail.com or CanaryCry.Radio@ProtonMail.com. Make sure to go to meetups, CanaryCryMeetups.com. Get connected with some of those hosts, and if there's not one near you, put one on yourself. It's awesome. You'll meet some Canarians in your area, and it's a good time. CanaryCryMeetups.com. Let's see here. Excuse me. Other than that, leave ratings and reviews. Yes, let's try to finish out this year with some awesome ratings and reviews. Bump those algorithms into high gear. Share the show. Who knows? You never know who will be starting 2022 fresh and exciting with a new obsession with Canary Cry News Talk because you left a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts, and that told the robots to share the show with them, and now they have their new home in Canary Cry News Talk, all because of you. Go leave a rating and a review. It's a good time. Other than that, you can just share the show. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with strangers. Share it on the intercom at Walmart as you're buying those last-minute Christmas presents. All sorts of fun ways to share it. Some people like to get a little bit more creative, and that's totally possible. You don't have to do it the old-fashioned way. Some people, as we speak, these creative individuals are running around town. They're trying to surreptitiously obtain the information about what their loved one would like for Christmas. They waited too long. They've been turned complacent with the ease and speed of Amazon Prime, but now it's 2 days before Christmas and they are late. The Prime shipping isn't going to come before Christmas now, folks. So you're looking for ways to figure out how to make Christmas special. And those in the know, those really creative and smart producers are going to, they're going to put everything they've learned in the show to work. And they're going to toil. They're going to go into the garage. They're going to lock the door. They're not going to let anybody in until they're finished. And from the outside of the garage, you'll hear buzzsaws, power tools, hammering, a goat for some reason, and of course many sounds of birds. And you might hear something else if you're very quiet on Christmas Eve and all is silent, not a creature is stirring, not even a mouse. And as the children are sleeping, you'll hear a faint jingle in the distance as Santa is bringing the presents to all the little children, and the Christ child is remembered. Don't forget that. But also, if you listen carefully in the dead of night, you'll hear Canary Cry Radio, Canary Cry Radio. That's right. It's like a ghosty, spooky sound because the ghosts of Christmas past, Christmas present, Christmas future are coming to visit the naughty children who don't give money to the poor. Forget what that movie's actually about. the
That's part of
Scrooge
it.
children.
Yeah.
The Scrooge children. And yes, the ghosts of Christmas,
The bad
past,
boss.
present, and future will come, and the bad children will wake up covered in their riches and their bed filled with Illuminati dollars that they sleep in, those greedy little children. And they'll get up and they'll press their nose to the window. And outside there will be 3 ghostly canaries that will come to visit them and teach them the error of their ways. And there will be lessons to be learned, like the NEPHILIM and what that means in the context of dinosaur propaganda. The second ghost will teach them about the horrors of FLIPPY and the robot takeover. And the third ghost, oh yes, the third ghost will come looming up out of the mist, and with one wretched, crumbly finger will point right at the children and say, "You will own nothing, and you will be happy." It's the Great Reset, Ghost Gonz. And the children will run screaming to their parents. And the parents will say, the 3 ghosts. Well, there's one way to know. There's one way to ensure that the 3 ghosts of don't visit you again. And that is to listen to Canary Cry News Talk, little children. That's right. Start 'em young, folks. You don't have to share it that way. It sounds like a lot of work and maybe actually not as easy as just going out and buying a Nintendo Switch. But whatever the case may be, that is one way that you could share the show, if that's what you're interested in. We like to call it rattling cages, and if you need any more instructions, here's what you do. You walk right up to them, you grab them by the cage, and then you shake it.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
That's right. Just ask Noah. Gonz, you got any last words?
Happy holidays, everybody. I did just
Merry Christmas, you mean?
Yeah, happy Christmas. I just received a public safety alert, and I'm getting an evacuation warning, but it's voluntary.
Is it a zombie apocalypse?
It doesn't say. It just says that I need to evacuate voluntarily.
Seems like it would be really helpful to know what to look out for.
Yeah, and I'm like looking out the window. I'm like, is there something happening? No, not really. It's not raining or anything, so I don't know. It's just.
I think it's the Christmas ghosts. They're making their way through the streets and teaching naughty children lessons. Maybe a Krampus is on the loose.
I'm sure that's what that is happening.
All right. There you go. Thanks for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk, everybody. Make sure to tune in next time. But until then, think outside the cage.
We're all gonna die.
This is the United States of America, for God's sake.
We're all gonna die.
Give me a break. This is the United States of America, for God's sake.
We're all gonna die.
Remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Buy!
I want to shake things up, shake things up. I want to shake things up, shake things up. Leave the bird alone. I want to stir up some controversy. I want to rattle a few cages. I want to rattle a few cages. I'm the last angry man. You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man. I'm the last angry man. You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man. A crusader for the little guy. Little guy. Little guy. Well, we'll see about that.
Whatever, Illuminati.
This is the United States of America, for God's sake. I wrote the bill. Keep yapping, man.
Now the serpent was more crafty than any other beast of the field that the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, "Did God actually say you shall not eat of any tree in the garden?" And the woman woman said to the serpent, "We may eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden." But God said, "You shall not eat of the fruit of the tree that is in the midst of the garden, neither shall you touch it, lest you die." But the serpent said to the woman, "You will not surely die. For God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. And she also gave some to her husband, who was with her, and he ate. Then the Lord God said to the woman, "What is this that you have done?" The woman said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." The Lord God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock, and above all beasts of the field. On your belly you shall go, and dust you shall eat all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel." To the woman he said, "I will surely multiply your pain in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be contrary to your husband, but he shall rule over you." And to Adam he said, "Because you have listened to the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. In pain you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken. For you are dust, and to dust you shall return."
In the future, humans will be confined in a people's zoo.
I'll keep you safe and warm in my people's zoo. Get vaccinated. I'll keep you safe and warm now in my people's zoo. Need time. You and you in my people's zoo. I'll keep the cameras on.
Keep the apple, man.
I'll keep the cameras on now in my people's zoo.
Give me a break.
You, yeah, you in my people's zoo.
Armageddon's on the way. We'll hunt you down and make you pay. It was really a productive segment, man. Keep the apple, man. This is not about freedom and personal choice. Come on, man.
I'll make you fat and sassy in my people's zoo. I'll make you fat and sassy in my people's zoo.
Socks and raisins.
Everybody loves waffles.
You, yeah, you. You, yeah, you. You, yeah, you. In my people's zoo.
I'll keep you warm and safe in my people's zoo.
Do not come back, you Nazi psychopaths.